All right, I'm going live without everybody. I don't know where everybody is. Let's see. Hexo, coffee. Where are you guys at? I'm going to sit up here by myself, but I'm not actually alone. I've got one of our guests sitting back here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Discourse Syndicate. Let me make sure that I haven't ditched my boy Hexo. Oh, there he is. He's sending me a message. Something's wrong. Let me see here. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Let's see where he's at. I just got a message. Oops, I didn't send him the link. There it is. Sorry, bro. I put it in the box, man. I just didn't hit the send button. He'll pop in here right now. Let me make sure that I sent coffee his too. I was kind of scrambling around trying to get the link out. Let's see. Nope, he hasn't even read his messages, and I got it to him though, so I'm cool. Right on. So let's close everything out because it's Mac. Gosh, this thing. Need to switch back over to PC. There he is. Oh, there's my boy Litecoin. Yo, what up, dude?
What's up, man? Just came in. I'm at work right now.
You're live too, so just to let you know, don't let's see here. Oh, there he is. He's waving his hands. Okay. Dude, I put the link in the box and I forgot to hit send.
Oh, geez.
So it's there. Oh, we lost Litecoin.
Litecoin exit scam.
He exit scammed on us.
Exit scammed on the stream.
Right on. Let me say hey to everybody out there. So we got Vince Chang, of course, he's on there.
What's up, Vince?
Black Sheep, my new buddy Black Sheep, probably been banned out of the Hex main chat more than anybody in. Real Hex, morning guys. Oh, from Hong Kong, right on. Some of our friends in Hong Kong. We got friends in Hong Kong.
I don't know. I think we have more enemies in Hong Kong than we do friends. Oh, geez.
We got in there. We got so we got some people flowing in now. Here they come. So just some housekeeping, guys. Welcome to Discourse Syndicate. This is a place for all the Hex community to get on and speak their piece. Let us know who they are, why they're in Hex, what questions they want to ask, that kind of stuff. The other thing is this week we had to change up. We had Kyle, the dev, coming on this week, but he had some personal business that he had to attend to today. He's in the middle of some things, so we have to push him out. But we'll get him on. He said, no problem. He just wants to reschedule for when he can get on. So we're gonna get him on. We had a bunch of questions lined up. It was really cool. I spoke to him for a couple hours, and we had a real good conversation. So that's next week. But today we've got coffee supposed to be coming on, crypto coffee, and we have the big Kurkowski, Jeff Kurkowski, coming on. He's out there on the Twitters all the time, and we see him in chat rooms and hanging out. So he's going to come on and hang with us. Cool dude. Let's see. There's Litecoin. Let's get him back up again with us. Oh, and then the other thing I just wanted to tell everybody, so on like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, but realize that, and I set up an account and put an address up there for people to put donations and to use the referral link, because everything that this channel earns is going to be going towards the Hex community for the big Miami party. So we're going to do something nice. Now, if Hex crashes and goes to zero and we got nothing, then we'll do something online for everybody.
We'll just buy everybody Mountain Dews.
We'll buy everybody a Mountain Dew.
at the big payday party, everybody gets a Mountain Dew or something.
So yeah. So whatever comes in. Hey, there's Bitcoin for life. What's up, dude?
Up, dude.
So whatever we do gather, it's gonna go back into the community. I already put my donation in there. So there's an ETH in there I put in. I'll keep donating. So anyway, back to it. Let's see. There's Moses. Let's pull him back up. Yo.
Yo, what's up, man?
You back with us?
I'm back with. I closed my phone out. That's what happened.
Oh, geez. So we got you on now. So you're live with us. And what's happening, dude?
Nothing much, man. Just fucking stacking these hex, man. Stacking these sats, man. Just daily buying like I always do.
Stacking sats.
You buy every day, Litecoin?
Yeah, that dollar cost strategy, man. I mean, it really works, especially if like, someone who's like, especially as like, I was never a big trader or anything like that. So
Yeah.
It's a good strategy, especially if you're not just a trader. You're just like, let me just try to accumulate over time, and it's worked out pretty well in the bear and bull market.
You just put a bunch in, like go to Coinbase or something, and then you just put like some in at weekly or something like that, or like dollars, like some dirty fiat. Do you go from dirty fiat to like dollar cost averaging that in?
Hexologist. Huh.
You can hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Now I can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I was wondering if you buy it like weekly, do you put like dollars or fiat in there weekly or something like that, and then you just buy daily?
For Hex or for the other cryptos?
Yeah, just whatever. Because you said you buy daily, right?
Yeah, I buy daily. So what I do is I put a certain amount in like USD, USDC, and then from there transfer off to all the other markets and stuff, and just buy what I want to buy in terms of just whatever, like whether that's like $10, $50, $100 a day, whatever I decide to do on that specific crypto, and then I just make sure to have the money in the account and just keep going, because like the way I like to do that is like you have to sometimes kind of have to automate it, because through just human action you'll just forget to do it some days, or you're like some days like your stomach like I always, there's one strategy of mine is like, since if you're always kind of buying, you're never selling.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
like you end up kind of flooding out sometimes of like some big positions,
So do you do it in the AA lobby, or you buy in Hex on Mini?
I did buy in the AA lobby up until like pretty recently. I started buying kind of on Uniswap just to try it out and everything, like, because before that, like, me, like I'm pretty conservative with my stuff. What I was doing was I was just AA every single day, putting an ETH in there, a tenth of an ETH, whatever I could afford at that day, And then
right on.
I mean that's what.
That.
Well, that's what I could do.
I FOMO it all in. I get some money in my Coinbase account. I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah,
I'm all in.
It's cool how fast. I believe. I mean, I hate the fees and stuff, but it's Coinbase is really quick now. I can take and transfer, USDC and move it over. I mean, I hate using them. I wanted to use what do you call it, Wire, but I can't get that to work anymore. I don't know what the trip is with that thing.
What you could do, this is what I do to kind of cut down on the fees. If you're just doing Bitcoin into some other crypto, into ETH, what you could do is buy your Bitcoin on Cash App. It's the lowest fee way to buy. The Cash App is literally like 60% cheaper on fees for US. I mean, it's the cheapest fees I found for anyone in the United States.
You got to go through KYC to get it all set up, though.
Yeah, for the Cash App, yeah. But if you don't, but then from there you can transfer off to like a KFC, non KYC exchange like KuCoin, but that might not last for very long. That eventually, I think even KuCoin will eventually get KYC.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But yeah, I mean
I'll get KYC.
I'm so sick of it.
After a while,
they find a way to put like these little like borders into stuff, but that's just the way it's kind of going. And then they get mad at like a non-decentralized coin, but that was the point of crypto. But whatever. I mean, they're starting. Eventually, I will see hate towards Litecoin because Litecoin's getting privacy on it, and now there's going to be hate towards that. It's like, Jesus Christ, man! Like people just hate on what crypto actually is. It's such bullshit. But that's the way the world is, I guess.
Yep. Right on. Well, hey, we got Coffee's not on. I think we're going to lose him today. He hasn't answered me, but we've got another one of our guests on here that short notice. He said he'd jump on with us, and I'm gonna bring him up. This is the big Kurkowski, Jeff. Hey, buddy, you there?
Hey, what's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Not too much. Glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you, man.
Yeah. Geez, so much going on here. There's lots to talk about. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. I mean, like the thing that's like on my mind the most is like just kind of seeing through the veil of like the gatekeeping that's going on in the crypto industry. Like, I mean, I've been around in crypto I've been mining since like 2016.
Cool.
and seen a lot, but like feel as if at this point in time, like a lot, like there's just so many avenues that are trying to essentially scam you and take your money. So when an actual decent project comes out with a good community that just wants to be positive, they pretty much are like everyone else. There's a lot of fear in the air. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Or hatred.
Dude, that
or
keyboard. You got to show us your keyboard.
Oh yeah,
look
check
at that bad
bitch
boy.
out.
That thing is sick.
Oh, yeah,
Damn,
it's
baby.
sick.
I love it.
It is smooth as that here on the.
Dude, that thing is sick. When you posted on Twitter, I was like, dang, that thing is rad, man.
Dude, mechanical keyboards are dope.
It is super nice. The keyboard is super slick, and I will say Richard's right. The contour, like that roller mouse, is really nice too. Like my like the actual like use of it makes my wrist feel a lot better already. Like
Really?
Takes a little bit of work to like if you play video games and stuff. Like I'm starting to feel comfortable now with it on video games, but it definitely takes a little bit of work for that.
Nice.
Sorry for changing it. I just
it's all good.
saw the keys and I was like, oh,
Yeah, he was all getting in, and you're like,
keyboard.
"Where's your keyboard, bro?"
All crypto makes
Distracted
Litecoin Moses
easily
a dull
again.
boy.
Distracted easily.
Oh yeah. I mean,
the gatekeeping is pretty lame. Pretty lame gatekeeping by CMC and Coin Paprika and anybody else at this point.
Yeah, I mean, even Uniswap. I mean, there's plenty of it to go around. And I mean,
It's
like
funny. It's all over. It's even within our own ecosystem, the ecosystems that we're helping pump up and foster, build, and grow. And it's like, really?
It's just this human reaction. Like, I mean, it's just, you can't help. You even see it. Like, I mean, you even see it in the Hex community a little bit because like people are I mean, again, I don't invest in I haven't invested in the Tweaking Air and all those kinds of games really, but those that like you can see the people in the Hex community that like what we have already built are like afraid of that stuff. They're like, whoa, I don't know if I'm cool with even letting that in the sphere. It's like it's a human nature thing to like just like what works and then be like, well, this other shit's garbage, know. And I get it, but but it sucks because we are in you hear the crypto lingos of like, oh, trust don't trust, verify, and like who's actually doing that? You're just listening to other talking heads on Twitter.
Yeah. And basically, there's a saying from Isaac Asimov that's like, my ignorance is as good as your knowledge, and that's kind of what's going on out there is that people are building and doing things out there on top of Hex and Hex itself and the crypto community itself, and other people that don't understand it figure that, okay, well, I'll just be ignorant to it and talk shit about it, and that's just as powerful as your knowledge,
for sure.
And that's just strong and wrong is what I call it.
I mean, I was a part of it. I can honestly say that like if you like for my little journey to the Hex community was one of like I blocked Richard like probably 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, straight up with like heard the words that he said to me, but like I liked garbage ass coins, and I was just like la 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 la, I hate this guy, I don't want to hear it, blocked his ass, stopped listening entirely, and like got wrecked, like felt the pain.
Was that when he was saying that Bitcoin was dead after the
oh bro, I mean I'll like how far I went into like my own stupidity. Like I flew
denial.
Denial. I was like a B casher, like straight up. Like I turned a bunch of I had a bunch of mining hardware. I flew out to Tokyo, went to the Satoshi's Vision conference, and shook CSW's hand myself. Like and like I have a math degree. That's like my college experience is math. And so like when I talked to him and he was like, we're gonna be putting out lots of papers with funny little symbols you won't understand. And I was like, well, I'm a math major, so like I will be understanding it, I will be looking at it. And like I did look at a lot of the stuff that they put out for a while, and it's hot garbage. None of it makes sense. None of it's usable. So like it took me a lot of time through my own bias because I was like, no, I just don't understand it. It doesn't make sense because I'm an idiot. And like after a while you get wrecked enough times to be like, okay, I gotta remove some of my bias here and like take a step back from the scene and like see what I'm missing here. And like in doing my a nice long break, long walk through the park, you know, I came back to see something that Richard was saying, and I was like, that's actually right. I was like, he's annoying about it. It's kind of like abrasive a little bit, but damned if he isn't right. And then like I started listening more, and I was like, son of a. How long are these streams? 12 hours.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't tell how many times I went to sleep with Richard talking in
gold.
my fucking ears.
There's so many good drops in there, though. They are 12 hours long, but man, there's some good ones in there. Especially when he starts getting on a roll. When people start asking stupid questions and he just starts tearing people apart. That's my favorite. Like, oh geez.
And I feel like I felt myself in a lot of those times, like having that bias and just being like, it doesn't blah, blah, blah. And then like you hear yourself in that and you're like, man, I really got to ask myself some questions about what I'm doing here and what, you know, where the money is being made and why I'm getting, you know, just eaten up out here, you know? So, I mean, and all of that, I feel a lot more confident about what's going on, you know, by taking that step back. That's for damn sure.
So what did you get in Hex?
I've been in Hex now since day one. I've been paying attention in the group since like January of 2019. So so like I've been paying attention pretty close, lurking pretty hard on it. I mean, I knew like for a while that this was, you know, gonna, like I had a very hard, you know, hot feeling that this is it, you know, like, and like I said, I'm a math major, and like here you go, I got a game theory book right here, you know, like I love that's one of my favorite. You know,
Yeah.
So like I was like, this is speaking my language, and like the more complex it got, the better I liked it, you know. And as we got further down the rabbit hole, it's like now confident enough, you know, once the system was like fully published and ready to go, I was like, okay, I could actually see myself using, you know, at whatever platform I have to, you know, to say whatever I can, you know, positive for it and be a part of it.
Nice. So you've been doing the maths?
Yeah, I did. I'm a director of technology for a company that does like catalytic converters and scrap metal here in the States. We buy, you know, and process and like car catalytic converters mostly. And there's like platinum and palladium, rhodium in them. Yeah. And I do all the technology. So I built like an iPad app that, you know, we do all our invoicing and like I manage all the employees and stuff on. It's like my daytime job, which is nice because it keeps me working from home and safe and sound here.
So I was talking about
cool,
Hex,
dude.
though. You're doing the maths on Hex.
Oh yeah. On Hex, I mean, like I did a lot. I mean, I could do like you'll see me in Hexo stream sometimes. You know, putting some numbers up there when somebody says something. Like,
yeah, he needs a help.
A little raw.
Yeah. Definitely. I need some backup there. My math.
I try to do what I can because, like, it's impressive the numbers. That all works. You know, the system works in like a very symbiotic way to see how you're like, oh, here's the market cap raising with the staking unstaking. You know, like you can just see each of these little pieces of the puzzle that are well manufactured. It's great to see, you know, and running the numbers on it is just a joy, you know. There's
it's so predictable. I mean, you can just watch the flow and see the numbers moving in Uniswap and watch the price going up. I mean, it's got to be a trader's dream. If you are a trader, I'm not, but if you're a trader and you know math, then you can watch this thing, man, you can really do well.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And I mean, but it's on this, I feel like it's on this like compressed time scale than like when you're watching Bitcoin.
Exactly.
When their dip happens, like I had a buddy that's into it too that called me up and he's like, hey man, I took a dip. I've been thinking about moving some money over and buying some more. I'm like, well, you better do it now because like the seem to be lasting about, you know, maybe a half day. So like,
the 12-hour bear markets.
12-hour bear markets, and we're like,
they get pretty crazy there for a while.
I remember the 12-hour bear market in February.
Yeah, it does hit like a nice, like, you know, range like it's been in right now. You know, you could breathe like a little sigh of relief. You're just like, oh, okay, you know.
Yeah,
but
when it goes up, I actually get way more nervous than when it's actually just staying. I'm just like, oh man, I can't do another 10x today, guys. I don't know if I can hold on to myself.
You get afraid of heights after a while.
Dude, I want
like
Bitcoin.
Up here,
Bitcoin to pump,
it's like
man.
scary. I can see my
me too, man.
See my entry point from up here.
like there's this like two sides to the big, like here having so many haters talk so much shit about Hex. You know, like on the one hand, he's like that cynical shithead part of you wants to be like, I want to see everything burn except for Hex. You fuck it all, man. But then like the realist, you got to like take that. But then you take a step back, and I'm like, no, actually, I'd like, even if everything goes up and everybody else makes it and everyone else does very well too, and then they can keep hating on our shit all they want, you know, like, I mean, that's fine with me too. Like that's just fine.
I'm the same way, dude. I like, it really sucks getting a bunch of hate from that like one certain coin, and you're just like, well, I hope, but then you're like, yeah, I really hope actually that you actually do good
too, and everything's
I really do. I do hope that Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of them just pump together. Maybe not IOTA, but you know, that's another story.
Dude, I don't even think they've released their coins yet from that freeze.
Really? They still haven't?
I think they haven't. I mean, because if they have, people,
that's crazy. I don't know. I mean,
they turned the machine back on, though, right? I mean, they turned it back on.
I mean, they may have turned the network back on, but it doesn't mean like you could sell the coins if they blocked the coins. But who knows, man? I don't know.
If anything, that just shows that like the proof is in the pudding that this is mostly a speculative vehicle. You know, like if it wasn't, then there would be, if people were actually needing to use that shit, then they would. It's
this point. It's all speculative. That's all it is. That's all it is. And that's why, you know, I mean, I think there's this new camp developing, and Richard's been like the first vocal person that's brought it out, that there's no new development out there. There's no use cases for anything. Bitcoin is clunky. The database for crypto is it's basically just a piece of crap database out there to try and build anything on, and it's all speculative. And there's like this new camp that's finally coming to the realization of this. And then there's everybody that's still the hangers on and holding on. And unfortunately, those guys have all the influence. You know, they're all the influencers. They have the big voices. They have the big YouTube channels.
It's the easy thing.
So they can still keep, they can still keep dragging people by their noses and keep them in the dark about all the reality of crypto and what's going on.
But
and
make
decentralization.
Sure link, you know,
that's true. That is very true. I mean, I feel like, and a lot of times, once you finally figure it out and like you feel yourself, you play the game right, and you get your 1,000x, and you like, how many people that have hit a 10,000x overall and are arguing with people on Twitter, you know, like
they're over it. They're over it.
They're trying to find ways to get their money out is what they're trying to do.
Exactly. Like, that's just not
flying to different countries, and
that's true. Yeah, there's no point once you are that rich, you probably do not care what, and you probably even cashed most of your, or you still have huge bags, and so you just want it to pump anyways.
That's a possibility. Or a lot of your income came from leading lambs to slaughter, and like so then you gotta keep that up. I mean, that's the only other.
There's always going to be that too.
And I feel like it's going to be in a rotation, because like everybody's got to learn their lessons and get wrecked, and then and they're getting wrecked on the backs of somebody else, and then and then it's just cyclical, so. But I do feel like it's so Wild Westy in crypto that like you can get wrecked a lot more than you can in the traditional markets.
That's true.
We're still in the Wild West right now, but it's not going to last for much longer. Like if you know what happened to the West, the minute the barbed wire, which I think that's more like the regulatory KYC stuff, started getting down, that's what tamed the West, right? And I feel like we have maybe like a cycle and a half before it's just basically a baby, stock market essentially. At that point, especially when the boomer money and the older generation's money starts funneling into it.
That's what it seems like most people in the industry want to, anyways.
Of course.
Institutional want the wealth money. That's all we ever hear about. When is that institutional money coming in? It's like, well, is that always a good thing to have the institutional? Yeah, it'll pump your bags, but then it's then they own it. Then they own all of it, and then you don't own hardly anything. And you might own a lot, but or own a lot of USD, but one Bitcoin or I don't know.
They already own all the OTC. They've been buying on the OTC, so they won't pump the price, so they let normal people pump the price for them. That's some shit.
Exactly.
Motherfuckers.
I mean, the people that are really playing the game are playing it way smarter than I don't know if you saw. There's a dude, like a Twitter personality, who's also on Shitmex as a trader, that just like wrote a Twitter thing that said he's like out today. That Joe007. You're seeing him. He's like usually like a top. He like now again, who knows if the trader is the same guy as the Twitter personality, but their names are the same and they say they're the same person. He was like, I'm out. This has been an experiment in like, running game and through Twitter, and like his breakdown on Twitter is very, or on crypto in general is telling. He's like, it's a pretty much a meat grinder that he's saying he said all that stuff that turns people out. And like, if I stick around too long, he's like, I'll be in the red too. Everybody will be. So
do
he's like,
it long enough.
It's been a fun ride, but peace, y'all.
Yeah.
So look at it. Morgan Maniac says, hey guys, do you think Binance, KuCoin, and other centralized exchanges could be possible sources of liquidity for Hex? I've been hearing a lot of talk about liquidity, and of course, I mean, anything out there that's a place for you to move Hex is going to be a source of liquidity. So, everybody in the Hex community, I see a lot of people shit talking the exchanges and whatnot. And, we all have our own biases towards them about them being centralized and the like. But, unfortunately, they're a necessary evil in crypto right now. They're just, a way to create liquidity. And that's where it exists. We lost Moses again. So to answer that question, that's my answer to the question is yes, it does. And they're necessary. Unfortunately,
I kind of have a different thought on it other than like the whole liquidity topic, right now. I say that like, yes, they are necessary in time. Like, we're not in any hurry for huge pools of liquidity to exist, because if we have a mediocre amount of liquidity right now, if we have, what does Uniswap got? 12, 15, 7, million dollars worth of liquidity right now. It's a lot easier. When you go on Coin Paprika, you can see that little bar. It tells you how many dollars it takes to pump the price 10%. Yeah. And so like, if you are pumping too much money, if you have too much liquidity, then we can't go to the moon like we want to go. Well, like it's not that we can't, it's that it's going to take a lot more economic weight to get us there. So having a mediocre amount where we could all, the general pop can get in and out pretty easily, is great right now. I mean, if we had 3 times as much, we probably wouldn't have pumped as high as we have.
No.
Right.
No. So, well, you can see the liquidity.
I like Uniswap too.
Yeah,
I do too.
I like where that's going.
I want those other exchanges. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for the day that they come. But like, let's how about we get like another 10x first for ourselves? Like, just
I like your thinking. I like the thinking. I say we wait until after the adoption amplifier to really branch out, because then it's like, we don't have any of the any of the real FUD that's coming out. Oh, what's happening? Where's the Ethereum going, guys? Where's this? What's happening with this? You don't. Have you guys seen on Twitter where people are like, well, it doesn't have any liquidity? It's like, yeah, because you have $17 million to sell into this thing.
Yeah.
It's like, sure.
As if anyone that's saying that has that much tax available to sell or buy into.
Right. Yeah. Where they have like 25 followers. It's like, I'm sure that you're just stacked, bro. I'm sure you got 17 million to sell into this liquidity pool on Uniswap. Or most of them just don't even know about Uniswap. I think it's so like new and everything that nobody really realizes how the Uniswap is calculated and all the liquidity on there. Yeah, they look at CMC and they're like, look at all these shitty exchanges that you guys are on. It's like, yeah, sorry, that's what happens.
Every crypto starts that way.
Yeah, exactly. Every crypto starts out that way. Go
so
look
stupid.
at a brand new kind of thing called Uniswap.
Yeah, and
look at that 4-year-old falling over trying to ride his bike.
Yeah.
Little shit. He can't do nothing.
They just don't, like, to be fair to them to some degree, like, they don't realize that that things have changed. I feel I see that. Like, I remember mining Ethereum way back when and feeling like the system was like mediocre at best. I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. And now with MetaMask, the speeds on it are a lot better than they have been in the past. I mean, just in general, it's fun to use.
I can hear you.
It is pretty cool. Have you seen the limit orders? How you can put limit orders too?
Yes, that is super cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, the thing is like, those whale pool guys, or well, I guess we won't even name them, but the guys that were, talking to Richard, they're like, if you're a trader, you probably don't want to, wait 5 minutes for, if it's if the network's kind of slow or something, you want to put even your gas to the highest and you got to wait for 30 seconds for a trade. I get that. If you were a trader, you wouldn't want something like Uniswap to trade on. But if it's something like what we do, where it's just like, I'm going to swap it and then stake it, like, it doesn't really matter if I get a little bit of a, slippage there.
Yeah,
they don't realize that.
The type of trader you are. I mean, like, if you're like a day trader, sure, by all means. But if you're swing trading on week-long charts, then like you should be like, that's still
that's true.
Yeah. So really, the people who worry about liquidity are big whales who want to dump and fuck them anyway, right?
I mean, that'll all come. We'll get the liquidity once it's worth a bunch more, and then they can buy it much higher.
Exactly. So, right, you back with us, Moses?
But that is something that I do watch on the regular. Honestly, like, out of all the things that, like the metrics, like if you're like we said, like, you worry when things pump. I also watch the liquidity pool. I need to swap. Like a day ago, like about $1 million, somebody pulled out about $1 million worth of liquidity, and I was like, whoa.
This better not be a start. Yeah.
There's been some pretty good ones pulled out. I've seen,
with the Ethereum rising, like, hopefully, I mean, with everything kind of pumping these last couple of days, I hope that Ethereum really pumps up, because man, that would make our liquidity pool like just skyrocket. I mean, we went from 10 million to 17 million on the last pump pretty easily.
Oh yeah,
just Ethereum pumping.
And Ethereum hasn't. I mean, Bitcoin's been leading the way right now, but Ethereum's been chilling. So
that's true.
Yeah. Hey, so in the green room here, we got another member that's going to join us today. He was kind of a short notice. So this guy. Crypto Black Sheep. I don't know if some of you have seen him on his YouTube or seen him on the chat room, but he freaking cracks me up, dude. He's I don't know. Oh, Patrick's asking. I think he was expecting the dev Kyle to come on today, but I told him that we wasn't
able to come.
Yeah. But this guy, Crypto Black Sheep, he keeps getting banned out of the main chat room.
I'm probably gonna have to jet you guys.
Oh, you're gonna bail, bro?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No problem.
That's all right.
Stay as long as I can. I'm gonna have a podcast later this afternoon with Firebun, which is pretty cool. Should be out like 11 in the night or so, like East Coast time.
We'll chill it. Everybody get on Litecoin.
Peace out, you guys. Have a good one.
All right, bro. Have a good one. So I'm going to bring Black Sheep up too. This guy's probably going to get our YouTube canceled or something, but he's funny as fuck, dude. So I'm just going to put him on.
I was going to say, do you get in trouble? I mean, if I burn a little weed pipe here, is that going to get me in trouble, or is that
we you know what, we haven't had any problems yet, probably because we don't have enough people watching, so it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm in a place where it's legit, I don't know. I don't know what they care about on that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
I don't care. This other cat probably gonna get it.
It's just a regular vape.
All right.
Yeah, it's a vape.
Prove that it is.
All right, I'm gonna pull up Black Sheep. Here he is, man.
Oh man, did you fucking teleported for the Twilight Zone or what? What's up, guys? Did that guy hear about me or something? Did I scare him away?
He's out.
Like what? No, he ain't afraid of nothing. Believe me.
Hexologist in his house. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, bro? How's it going, man?
I'm brand new in the Hex community. I was kind of one of those guys that just like, oh yeah, it's just another scam, because when you've been around. When you've been through so many fucking scams, like I started with BitConnect. That was my first. That was my entry into crypto was BitConnect, right? So, I mean, I've been around the block. I've seen a lot. Oh man, I've seen a lot of scams. I've lost a lot of money, but you know what? I've almost got it all back with Hex now. So,
well, I'm glad you got it back, bro.
I was telling him the other day, I put my whole stimulus check into it, and I've already tripled it.
Yeah, I saw that somebody already started the crypto stimulus bot for Hex to let you know. Man.
Hell yeah, man.
Already almost 10x. Shit, it's awesome.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
It's first time I've heard of the big Kurkowski. I love it. I love it.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah. I do like a weekly bingo charity game show where we give away, if you win it's $10 to play in all 4 of the games, and if you win your bingos, you can get your payouts in Hex. And then we also do like a 10,000 Hex giveaway at the end of the show every week.
No shame in his shill game, huh?
Hell no.
No, that's what this is for, is to show all the Hex guy stuff.
What is it? Bingo.earth, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, bingo. Send me the link to that, Jeff, and I'll put it on the channel. That way,
I feel left out, dude. I got to get me a green screen. I have limited room in this little shit I'm in.
I had to get it. It was just a green sheet. It wasn't too much. It's the lighting.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think mine was like $16 on Amazon or something.
Yep,
like
mine too.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Just wrap yourself in green, bro.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
I got to get some of that hair though, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I love it. Right. Yeah. It's cool. It's fun sometimes. But you know what I really love, man. And my almost one of my most favorite things to do now is just watch Richard Hart just tear everybody apart.
Yes.
It is fun.
He's been destroying people for months, man. And I've been watching it for months, and that's where like I really like it when it finally did the pump, and I was like, you know what, Black Sheep, you fucked up. You know, that was how I looked at it. You know, I seen that pump, and I was like, you know what, I'm all in. I sold everything I had at that point. Boom, everything, and just it was worth it. You know.
So when did you get in?
Looking back, huh?
When did you get in?
I got in for like 2 days in February, and I had to cash out because I had to pay my phone bill. It was like 62,000 Hex, right? So I cashed out, and then I look at it now, and I'm like, wow, dude. 62,000 Hex. That was the most expensive phone bill I've ever paid.
Yeah.
It's like the guy on there. That pizza's going down.
That pizza's getting real expensive,
right? Now bunga.
I think the first couple giveaways we did on the Bingo Earth was like 40,000 Hex coin, and I was like, okay, that's a little too much now. I have to pull that down. Right. Down a little bit.
Yeah, it was like I've been looking at wallets that I had for like tutorials that I did on like first couple of days that Hex was out, and I had like, so I was looking at other wallets and I was finding like 30,000, 40,000 Hex in there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just have like $100 sitting in here now that was worth like $5 or something back then. It was like, oh man, maybe I should figure this out.
That's
Look
crazy.
at all the wallets that I have.
There's this cat. There's this cat that I met that like hooked us up. We were down in St. Lucia back in January for a wedding, and this kid that was just like a jet ski rental kid, you know, and like, you know, and then we met him out at like and then he took us out to like we went out to like the Friday house like street party, and it's like raging street party, raged with him and his crew like all night. They took us all around, took us everywhere, you know, and after I got back, like hit him up, he hit me up, and we had kept in touch for a while. And like when X was worth nothing, I was like, hey man, here's like you know, you're a kick-ass fucking guide around there. Here's $750,000 Hex, you know, like this kid, you know, I just gave it to him like, here, bro, it's all for you. You know, it was like $100 at the time, you know, and he hit me up like 2 weeks ago. He's like, dude, I have a year worth of pay right now in my wallet. I'm fucking sick. He's like freaking the fuck out.
Dude,
that's
awesome,
badass,
man.
dude.
Yeah. Very cool.
That's one thing I noticed, like just getting into the Hex community. I've noticed that this is one of the most positive communities I've ever been in. I mean, despite all the fun on the outside, as soon as I stepped in and I actually took a look, I was like, wow, this is home. You know, I can feel it right away. So
awesome. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too, man. It's, I mean, like, there's just so much good shit going on, and it's a complex ass project in general. So like, just getting through all the nitty gritty with people is enough. You know, there's enough to go through. You know, take up all our time with that. I don't gotta, you know, waste time, you know, with bullshit. You know, because there's so much.
Oh, there's no time delay on this one, is there? Like when Janet Jackson's fucking titty flop out, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna let everybody let it hang out on the show. It's cool. It's cool. We've got we've got one of the one of the ladies in the Hex community. She's an older lady. I don't know how old she is exactly, but I invited her on too. Linda's her name. Have you guys?
By the way, guys, we're pumping right now. We're at 5.8 thousandths of a dollar.
Yeah.
You got a sweet little green candle in there.
So right here, sitting here screwing up and making money at the same time.
That's why it's funny. Like I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up and I'm like, wow, I've never made that much money just sleeping, guys.
A buddy of mine like didn't call that, like got him into this. And he didn't call me back. He was supposed to call me back, and he like didn't call me back for like a couple extra hours that he was supposed to. And like X was pumping while while that happened. He finally calls me back, and I was like, bro, it's all good. You just made like an extra $8,000 while you're. He's like, what? And I was just like, he's like, I'm gonna not call you more often. I was like,
That's nice.
It's a great feeling, and like I said, I mean the community, the project has been super fun to like. Just like I said, as a math guy, it's just so much fun to talk about, and think about, and like everybody I know in real life here is like, as soon as like somebody asks me about it, like all my friends are like, oh god, here we go.
This guy, here he goes again with the hex stuff. Me too. Me too. I'm
gonna be the most hated guy ever because I did that. Back in 2016, 17, I was telling everybody to get into crypto and get in this and get in that. And then, of course, just like Black Sheep, it was all fucking scams and everything else. And then, so I just shut up this time. And now I'm going to like come walking out of this thing, gold plated. And they're going to be like, dude, why didn't you tell me?
Well, there was this. I saw. I was at a talk with Charlie Shrem once, and he made the statement that he was like, "Man, everybody always asks you why didn't you tell me to buy Bitcoin at $1?" And he's like, "Man, if I told you to buy it at $1, you'd have sold it at $2."
Yeah, exactly. Or you would have just called it a scam. Like, dude, my friends, I've had my friend was gonna buy on day 32 with with $5,000. So he was gonna buy on day 32 with $5,000. I set him up with a MetaMask. I set him up with the Ethereum and everything. Ethereum, by the way, was $280. So not only did he never called me back. But not only that, but Ethereum was it went down to almost $80. So he lost like half of his stack and didn't buy on day 32. Which he would have like over $250,000 now if you would have just
that is painful.
Because he like 2 weeks after that he was like he texted me and Hex had went down probably 30 or 40% whatever it was doing, and he texted me, he's like, look at that, Hex is getting smoked, like kind of like throwing it in my face a little bit. I kind of want to be like, yo, I want to show you something.
Check her out. She's watching us. Crypto mom still standing.
Today, contact me. Yes, would be fun to giggle. She
calls
with
us a bunch of giggling hunks. She said,
"Call me grandma."
Ex-grandma. I love it. That's awesome.
She's hilarious. A badass.
I still am owed my grandma's birthday is in December, Hexo, so we got a little ways for you.
Dude, I really did call somebody's grandpa.
You did? No way.
I did. He was like, hey, here's the phone number. Could you call my grandpa? And I was like, oh man, somebody's gonna call me up on this. I have to do it since I said it. So I totally did it. Yeah, I called him up. His name was Paul
awesome.
Schaefer, but the guy, his grandpa was on Twitter. Called him up. I was like, "Hey, what's up, bro?"
Yeah,
it was awkward, but hey, it was all right.
That's whatever, man. Mission accomplished. That's awesome.
Mission accomplished. I did it.
Stick to your word.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Man, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
All right, we got any questions from the?
I'm looking through them right now to see if there's any questions up there. So hey, did you ever? The last time you got banned, Black Sheep, did you ever figure out what that was for yet, or no?
Yeah, no, I did. That was the only time I got banned.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I'm not like a repeat offender. I was just like, I had Hex in my list one day on my Telegram, and then one day it was gone. I was like, oh, and that was like when I was trying to like actually pay attention to what was going on. So that was like I said, it was at that moment Black Sheep realized, he fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Just like that, dude. I was like, oh shit. And I actually talked to Richard Hart personally. Fucking God bless him. He's a badass, dude. I mean, I just hit him up like on the Telegram. I was like, dude, like I don't know why I got banned, but you know, I love you guys. Can you get back in? You know?
Yeah,
I didn't mean it, bro. I was drunk.
Yeah. A lot of people just get banned. I don't know if it's what they're saying.
I do a lot of like, sometimes I get really drunk late at night, and I'll do like some fucking stupid ass like little GIF video I made or something, like 2 seconds, but it's like, yeah, that's fucking
Yeah, if you watch his intro to his video on YouTube, it's pretty vile.
Crypto's black sheep?
Oh yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
Did you make that, or did somebody else make that for you?
I've never seen it. I'll have to check it out.
But you pull it up. It's funny as shit.
Let me see it. Well, I'm gonna check it out.
It's pretty
like
funny.
that, right?
Did you make that, or did somebody else make that?
What?
I said, did you make that, or did somebody else make that?
Your intro video?
Oh no, that's all me. I'm a musician. That's what I do. I've been making videos and shit. Like, yeah, that's what I've been doing since like August. I just like got into my own like niche, you know, kind of thing.
Nice.
I've never really given a fuck much. So I like, you know, I don't know. It just fits me. This whole thing.
And
that's why me and Richard Hart like he's like, dude, he just comes in there and just destroys people all day, and I'm like, and he dude, he's one of the smartest motherfuckers I've met or that I've known, you know. I mean, honestly, and what we got here is fucking beautiful.
Oh, he knows his shit. He put together a good project. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
and it is watching him. I mean, the thing about it is that like I just feel like a lot of cats in this. A lot of cats in this industry. No worries. They just don't entirely understand like the full spectrum of like what is actually going on in business and like why things work and what doesn't work, and like they're trying their best. I mean, but just having a few thousand followers doesn't make you like know your shit, and so like
exactly.
It's like actually knowing your shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you know, and that's the thing is, as soon as you step outside your bias chamber, you know, then like there's usually you get destroyed, you know, because you're only hearing the same shit over and over, you know. So I mean, and that's like, for instance, the cat the libertarian cat that he destroyed, like that dude's show is like, if you've ever seen it. No, not him, the Indian dude.
Oh, the other libertarian cat.
Yeah, his show is super biased to like that one worldview, you know, and so like when somebody comes in outside of that, like it's just disruptive to us, you know. You can't. It's hard for him to handle.
They start shaking a little bit. Don't know.
Yeah, it's like a cognitive dissonance. You see it. Like, I mean, even in the whale talk, like they would have some moments where they would almost come to the realization that they're wrong, but you'd see that, like, you hear them in real time being like, no, back to my bias, you know.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's that one guy that they was actually understanding. He was like, yeah, that makes sense, and then they were like, you're an idiot. I can't believe you're probably an investor in Hex, aren't you? And it was like, no, he's actually just being legit, like, concerned about what you guys are saying.
You did.
I was like, damn, he's in your crew, boy. Like, shit.
And if my friends talk to me like that, I'd be like, all right.
I think I'm out of.
You know, there's
the old dusty trail.
There's been some moments in a lot of those rec videos where like there's actually intelligent people on the show with him, talking with him, and they understand what he's talking about, and then you can almost see the moment when their asshole cracks when he says something to him that it flows over them. They're like, oh fuck, he's right, and I'm fucking.
But they can't stop it.
They can't stop it. They don't say anything, but you could actually see the hurt in their face. Go
right. They're like,
Oh, and it's like, and like I laugh at, like I totally get it. Like I was saying earlier, like I felt those hurts myself, like a lot, you know. So like I see other people fighting it, I'm like, I know where you are right now. It's cool. You'll get there. Hopefully you'll get there.
You'll get there someday. What do you guys think will happen to Bitcoin after the halving or having?
I think everyone's gonna dump it for Hex.
I mean, I'd say there might be a run up, but like, I mean, like I would be surprised if we like smash through all time highs. You know,
No, it's going to be a half of Viagra. That's all it is.
Yeah, it could go either way, but either way, dude, it's gonna be funny when Bitcoin dumps and Hex just is still going.
Yeah,
I mean, it's already been pretty wild. I mean, we're like so I like in the metals market that I'm in with like platinum and palladium and rhodium. So rhodium right before Corona was trading at about the same price as Bitcoin. It was at like 10.5, and Bitcoin crashed to what, like $3,700 or something like that at its lowest, and rhodium crashed to like $2,000, and still hasn't, like, I mean, yeah, and like it came back up to like between 4 and 5 right now, but like it's not nearly where like Bitcoin's done way better than right. Precious metals. It's bizarre, you know. So I mean, this time I'm not sure at all, you know, like nothing, like it's hard to guess, you know.
Yeah,
like this is a very different atmosphere for a halvening to happen.
True. That's true. Yeah, it's
and I just started mining in 2016. Like I mined Monero when I first started, like right after the halvening. So I was like, what is this halvening thing? And they're like, it was the greatest thing ever, and everything went crazy. And I was like, damn.
Now what type of mining is Monero? Is that
it was GPU mining. Yeah, I mean, that was I mean, I learned about Monero before I had offhandedly heard about Bitcoin, but I learned about Monero before I even knew it was part of that ecosystem. I just heard about this sick ass privacy thing that I could, you know, I was like playing video games all the time. I was like, I could just make some right now. I'm like, what? Sweet. So, you know, I was mining Monero at like $2.50, you know, a piece, and silly of me sold it when it popped to 30. I was like, I sold it all, you know. I was like, and then it popped to 360, and I was like, damn it, you know. So you know, that was my first lesson in like, oh hey, maybe you should hold on to some of that.
For right there.
Yeah.
Is Monero still ASIC resistant? They put it in ASIC resistant.
Well, there's like they have been actually shifting their algorithm regularly to combat ASIC, you know, ASICs on the network, but people have been building them for kryptonite algorithms, and and that's definitely, it's caused a lot of, there's like Monero Classic and Monero this and Monero that. There's like 10 different kryptonite forks right now, at least, that are like relatively, you know, popular of some kind. I mean, if you were mining, you'd have made a little bit off of yeah, like I that was awesome. Like, I mean, like back then, mining was tons of fun. I mean, I was like, I started building rigs, and then out of nowhere, like the graphics cards I was buying for $100 are going for 400. My friends are calling me like, "Hey, can I get one of those for $400?" I was like, "Oh, that's shit." Yeah, that was a good time for mining and stuff. But now it's like there's if you don't have a serious exact plan and institutional money and you know, like, and some sort of electric company on your side, it's gonna be a losing battle.
Yeah, that's the big problem, is the electric companies and the, you know,
or if you know have some kind of in, you know, like I was, you know, following enough groups that like this time, like January of last year, when when I was like finding Hex and that project starting, way before it was out. There's a bunch of coins that, like, if you knew that, like, Mimblewimble stuff, if you were paying attention to the growth of all of that, you know, you would have known that Beam and Grin and Veil all released like the same month, and like I made a decent amount on that because it was like, you know, I just heard about it through groups and stuff. But besides that, if you're not like an ear to the ground paying attention to that stuff, and then in that same time frame, I mined 6 other coins that are garbage, you know, that have worthless. You know, so like am I like net positive? I don't know. I know a bunch about command line mining stuff, you know. I guess that's cool, you know, but
it's better to just be a staker, or instead of a miner, you're a staker now.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Probably making way more off of that than you've ever done mining.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's, I mean, like the mining game is, like I said, it's like for fun tinkering, sure, maybe. I mean, that's what makes Ethereum. I still think that like that ecosystem is awesome, because like I could turn my 1080 that right here on and mine a couple dollars of Ethereum over the next couple of days, and like that, we all know that's a fuck tons of transactions. Like that's actually, you know, usable stuff on the network tomorrow, you know, and like that's super cool. And that's a network that anybody can join, and that's that's what gives it a lot of the power that I think it has.
Yeah.
Whereas Bitcoin, fucking A. I mean, like I literally, I haven't made money on any Bitcoin miner I've ever owned. Zero.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Did you
I
ever
love
do
when you talk dirty to me.
Did you do
Oh yeah, man. Oh shit.
Yeah, that shit's a scam.
It's
Mostly
It's a great
scam.
time to be alive. That's all I know.
Oh, it is. It is a great
alive.
time to be alive. It's a wild time to be alive too. I mean, it couldn't have worked out better because like any gains you're getting right now, like I'm just mostly hanging out inside, not spending any of it anyway. I'm like not even tempted to spend it. I'm just chilling.
Right.
So
Just chilling. I know.
Yeah. And
I
that's
work from home too. Like I work right here. So like here's my,
yeah.
Yeah, that's my work desk. This is my do what the fuck I want desk.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you. I actually just the only thing I did is I put in another monitor up here that now just tracks hex price. So I just got my hex.
Play like the stock market.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I had my TV in my room set up as my hex monitor, and it would just glow all night and watch the freaking chart go up and keep me in a dream state.
What's our staking strategies? I've kind of done mine with my ladders. I've already showed kind of a 10-year ladder, 15. Well, mine's 10 years, but what's yours, Jeff?
I had like out the gate. I was pretty hard in the paint, and then just was like 15 years. Like I mean, I have like out the gate when it was cheap. I put like a couple million stakes in like the 15 years. Just like I was like, whatever, maybe this will be, And now I'm like, oh damn, what did I do there?
I did the same.
Okay. But then I came back after
I
I did like a chunk here, a chunk there, a chunk here, wherever, and then I came back and I like spaced it out, so I have like something coming out every month for the next 10 years or so. And then from there, like I'll probably restake some of that when it comes out, a good portion of it out for just 10 years continuously from then on, so it's always, always coming available.
Nice. Yeah, I'm doing right now. I've got it set that every day I'm getting 1,000 hex. So every day I'm getting paid 1,000 hex.
Okay,
nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me hear a little. I mean, dude, a year from now, 1,000 hex a day is gonna be sick, right? So 1,000 hex a day, and then every Friday, just like Payday, every Friday I'll get 10,000 hex.
Oh, that's
nice.
So roughly 17,000 hex a week. I like my little approach. I think it's gonna work. I think it, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then I'm staking them further and further out. So then I have the big paydays. With those same, right? And then my question is, does the big payday happen every year, or is it just a one-time thing, or
just a one-time thing?
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I love it.
Yeah, I have a feeling that like if I had my like druthers about what I would like to see or like the community to do about things is like once all of the but once big payday is over, like I think that like a lot of like since all the bonuses and all like what seem kind of goofy to outsiders looking in, they're like bonus. What's this crazy thing? Like a lot of that'll melt away and be gone. So like it should be. I think it'll be better to rebrand as like a straight up fight. It'll look a lot more like a financial product than like an actual staking game thing. like people are like, what the fuck is going on here? Like I think that some business branding would be good for it. That way you can entice that kind of crowd.
Yeah, I think that is kind of where, no financial advice, but definitely I think we have to wait until the adoption amplifier is over because there's too much FUD behind the adoption amplifier with and everything else. So where it's I think that it's and then and then that's the second wave of pumping. Maybe no financial advice.
Yeah, right. No financial advice.
I think that it's kind of like the second. The wave of pumping. Maybe we get a first wave before the big payday and then the second wave because we have to have some kind of pumpage after the big
here's a hypothetical conversation to have. What do you guys think that will end up at? What our bonuses will be in 25%, 50%, because we started out at like big payday, about 3 times your bag, and now
I could do
watching it go down every day.
Bar napkin math on it is that like if right now when you depending on like when you look at your stakes, it should be that you should be, if you staked for just over the big payday, then you're going to have like, it shows that you should be getting like under double the coins, you know, right now on big payday, just under. And so we're about halfway through the system. So if let's say double the coins is what you'd get out of an early stake, and then like more than that, triple the coins, you know, a 2x out of like the 10-year stakes. So if you are halfway through the adoption amplifier, we can guess that about that's going to get cut in half again, because the same amount of stakes will happen over the next half of the adoption amplifier. So like the short stakes, if things stay as they are, would give you about a 0.7x on top of your stack, 0.6 to 0.7x like added on for short stakes, and then up to just under a 3x for like the 15-year stakes, 10-year stakes, and that can be reduced because we only have 25% staked right now. So if that switched again to where we have 75% staked, then that can go down more too, depending on how long those stakes are from those people as well. So like, I'm guessing that like short stakers will see like a 50% increase, 40 to 50% increase on their coins by the end of it. Whereas like long stakers could see 2x their money, possibly for like the long ones, that's my like completely like, pour me another one, like, but
it has the Bitcoin virality and critical mass. So it depends on how many people are claiming with their Bitcoin, because then we can see more.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
that's like so up in the air. It just depends if people actually want to get into it or not. So
and that's happening a lot more now than I expected. Like now that things are heating up, and I mean, I guess I was
hoping the FUD was going to last a little longer and keep those folks out. So stop stopping the FUD, guys.
It's really cool to see that element of the design project working as intended, though. Like literally, it was meant to like get people, once the price starts pumping, then the Bitcoin holders are gonna be like, oh, I do want that couple $1,000. It was garbage when it was 10, but now I want it. And they're like, you go and claim it, and you're like, wait a minute, there's only half here. And you're like, yeah.
Sorry. Oops. We all get it. We get some of that sweet speculation. I don't know. That's the Bitcoin free claims is what I'm looking at every day. I have that hex.win bot on the on Telegram that I just watched, and I just do the Bitcoin free claims on it. So I don't watch anything else except for the free claims on it. And man, it's just, the whole page is just filled up now. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, it wasn't like that. When before we pumped, it was just like maybe like 5 claims a day.
Oh wow!
Well, you know what it is. Right? What's super interesting about it too, when I watch those claims, because I watch all that too, is that you can kind of, I mean, there is a little element of, that you're doxing your addresses that people have said before, to some degree. And like, you kind of are, in the sense that like, okay, I saw the other day, some guy like claimed his Bitcoin, and he claimed like multiple wallets that all had like 19, 19, 20, 20, 20, 20, 19, 19.
Bring down all the way to like 4 or something like
4,
that.
Yeah. And like, you can probably guess that that's the same fucking person. That all those addresses are that one motherfucker, or one company or whatever, which like how would we know that otherwise? Like if you really were worried, and like, again, to show that nobody really cares about their anonymity that much, if you really cared, you'd think that those people would do it on different days, different wallets on different days, I mean,
not just like 5 minutes every time down.
But when you got that many wallets like that, geez.
Dude, and how many wallets did that guy have? If you watched it, man, it was like the entire day. It was like he probably had 1,000 Bitcoin, and it was just like all day. It was just like claim.
Yep. I was watching. I was like, damn. Yeah, it's really cool to see people like now getting into it and trying to claim their shit, because like, I mean, that's why it was there. That's why they put that. It's why it was in there.
Yeah, it was. I like watching those things. The free claims. It's pretty cool. Did you see the one guy that claimed 4,000 Bitcoin, but he split it.
He did it wrong. He split it wrong.
He did 1,000 instead of 999. It was just like, oh no!
Oh my god!
He got hit on all of them.
He lost already like 30% of his stack because he claimed.
Because he hadn't claimed yet. Yeah,
another 50%. I think.
Oh wow!
He is.
Oh, that's
claiming 1,000 or more. It's like
those are the kind of guys. Those are the guys that, like, you know, if you get butthurt about it and you end up in like the wrecked chat room and you're like, fuck this project, I hate this shit.
Do we have a rec chat room? Hex rec?
Well, like, so Richard had gotten rid of like early on there was like a hex hex bad chat room.
No, I saw that one.
And then now it's now some like some of those people did create, like, there are some fudsters that like they're like, we got our own chat.
There's like 3 dudes in there.
It's pretty hard. They're doing mental gymnastics on the daily when people come in. They're like, why? Everything looks good here. I don't know. Probably number go up. I don't know.
How long did Richard pump this? You guys are just bots. It's like, okay, we get it.
I know your whole
bots,
stream.
yeah.
Your whole stream yesterday about the bots. Everybody.
I mean, that's a good sign, though. You know, like, honestly, that's like annoying, but it's really a good sign because, like, that means when you see bot activity like against our project, that means that somebody finds it financially feasible for them, like profitable or in their best interest, to spend money on fake fucking clicks to actually suppress our views and our thoughts and shit, which is like telling. Because, like, I mean, that's one of those things about the brave new world that we're in, that like your personal opinion, like, people pay a lot of money for fake likes, you know, so like your real likes are actually worth something of real value in space, you know. So somebody's spending money to, like, you know, or to like not to like annoy us or
like
suppress
become
us.
intimidating.
Or to intimidate. Yeah.
That's why we wanted to do the Discourse Syndicate shows that, you know, show that, hey, every week we're going to put more Hexicans on the show. You know, hey, there's real people here. We got real situations. We're really spending Hex, paying for phone bills and buying food and doing shit like that. I mean, you know, my kid, my kid, he's a pizza delivery guy. He's getting ready to go to college and all this. And he's like, Dad, hey, I want to put some money in Hex. You know, I said, yeah, go ahead. So he did it. And then a week later, that was like, 3 weeks ago, he put money in Hex, 3-4 weeks ago. And it just went, you know, crazy. And he's like, oh, I want to spend some. I want to, you know, and he staked some. And I said, hey, it's up to you, man. You know, go right on ahead. So he's like, he's loving it, you know, and he, you know, these kids, they don't spend too much money or whatever, but he's got money to play with, as, you know, he's never even made that kind of money before. And a couple grand in there. And now he's like, oh, you know,
so that's great.
It's cool stuff.
That's a great feeling too.
Yeah, and that was something else I wanted to say was, you know, we talk about staking strategies and we talk about, you know, I got in and got out, got wrecked and this and that. But at some point, in order to get anything out of this, you got to realize some gains. You know, you got to at some point say, hey, I'm taking some money out for this, or this money's going to go to this, or, you know, at some point you got to wreck yourself, or you got to, you know, get out. You got to exit at some point, whether it's up or down, you know, you never know.
I mean, nobody should ever be sad about taking profit. They should not be. I mean, that's just, even though, like I said, I say that coming from somebody who sold Monero like right before the next 10x, you know, that, you know, I get it, you know, but like, it still you shouldn't be sad about making that money and selling some of it and all that, you know. Honestly, like I was saying to somebody the other, like, this somebody now is like, see the Hex pump, and they're like, what do you think's the next thing that's coming along? And I was like, man, it's not. And then they're like, so what now? And I was like, honestly, like, obviously this, but like for a while, but like, when I do pull money out of Hex, like am I enticed right now in any way, shape, or form to like go and put that in other cryptocurrencies? No.
Not one little bit.
5% on a 6 months. It's like,
that's a volatile market over there.
I did it. I got 5%, Ma.
I mean, like, I'm cool with putting, you know, getting some other stuff with my, you know, gains that, like, but I just don't see. I see that this marketplace is mostly garbage, you know. So like, it's why would I take another gamble, you know, on crazy shit? I mean, like,
I feel like those are other projects at this point are like, you know, you gotta have a lot of proof. You gotta bear the gamble too, but it's like, I don't know. It's kind of shows you a little bit of what behind the scenes of crypto a little bit, you know, like after I saw behind the scenes, it was like, man, none of these projects are actually completed. They have roadmaps for 4 years down the line, and they don't even complete what's on their roadmap at a certain time. And it's like, okay, how long have you guys been doing this? You know, I don't want to talk about any specific crypto, but you know, most cryptos have a roadmap, and most of them don't fulfill that roadmap. Or even if they do, it's like they're never going to be completed. They've always got something else.
Even if they do, they still got passed by Hex.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and those roadmaps are never like, and to me, they're not life changing. Like, even if they're like, that's what they want to try and accomplish, and even if they do, that's not gonna. It's okay, cool.
It's like give us complete final, and that's what I like about Hex. What is like the coolest thing about Hex is like finally somebody comes out with something complete. Nobody's like, well, in 6 months we're going to give you this, you know.
Right.
Well, it mentally gives people that feeling that you had initially with Bitcoin, because like Bitcoin allowed you, when you're like, it gave everybody that power. When you're like, nobody can stop Bitcoin. Where are you going to go to? The CEO of Bitcoin? There ain't one. Fuck you. You know. So like everyone gets to take a little bit of that power amongst themselves. That's why there's people that are like, I'm the emperor of fucking Bitcoin, whatever. You can say whatever the fuck you want, you know, because like none of it matters, you know. And so like a lot of other projects that have leadership teams and have actually centralized control over it, like, no, they have business roles, and it says it on your fucking email address, and that's the one you have because somebody told you that. Whereas in this system, like, we get to do that all. We get to rebuild all that fun shit ourselves, and you're fucking Hexologist. You know why? Because you want to be, you know. Like that shit, you know, and like that's awesome.
PhD
you know,
in that shit.
Yeah, you got the fucking PhD, man. You're the first one to have it, you know. And like nobody can question that completely insane, illegitimate authority that you created for yourself. You know, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, where'd you go to school? Well, I just listened to Richard Hart every day.
Wherever the fuck. Yeah, exactly.
A 6-hour podcast twice.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I feel like gives all of us that like mental fortitude to deal with all of this, because like, I mean, like at the end of the day, we're doing this all. We get to, you know, it's whether or not it does well is on our backs. I mean, we have a whole lot of help in a super awesome product, you know, that doesn't hurt, you know. Yeah. But these are all
it makes it pretty damn easy, really, is what it does. Because if you know anything about crypto, you can put Hex in front of you and go, oh, okay, I can stand behind this one, that's for sure, you know. Because everything else you stood behind was like, oh fuck, shit, oh fuck, feel dumb about that one. Oh boy, that one was a scam. Oh shit.
Well, and when you use the other ones, you know, like for whatever their intended purpose was, they just don't work for that. So like this was meant to be staked and get more, and it works. I've done short stakes, I've gotten more, and it's also meant to appreciate in price, and it's doing that very nicely too. End of story, you know. So that's all.
Yeah, and it works. It works. So I mean, and you can actually see that. That's the thing is you can take Hex right now. For those of you out there who haven't used Hex yet, you can literally use it for what it's supposed to be for. You can get it with your Ethereum. You can get it with your Bitcoin. You can take it and go on a decentralized exchange and change it for whatever you want. You can turn it into USDC. You can cash it out into your bank account. You can move it. You can take it. You can stake it. You can stake it for a day. You can stake it for a year. You can stake it for 15 years. You can actually see the damn thing work in 2 or 3 days after you've staked it, pull it out, and turn it back into freaking money. I mean, it freaking works, and it's done, works. And there's nothing changing it, and there's nothing improving it. It's done.
So when we started coming up the ladder of Uniswap, I tried the other products that's on there. Like the second best, you know, decentralized product that's on there is this synthetics, you know, the synthetic stuff. So I got some. I bought like $500 worth just to like try it out, and like you have to, and it's a very convoluted process for how you actually make more of these fucking synthetics. You have to like you have to create based on a 800% collateralization ratio. So for like your $400, you can mint 50 fake USD coins, you know, and then with those fake 50 USD coins, you then have to like wait to every week you get some payouts for holding onto those coins, and like having them on the network. But to get that payout, you have to do a very expensive Ethereum transaction that I'm talking not one time of the day, I've tried it for days on end, is under $1.50 for the transaction. And synthetics at its best was like and what are they giving me? 2.5 synthetics. So like what is that right now? Like about $1.50. I'm like, this is a silly game I'm playing here. So like I mean I've messed with that for a while, and then to get like what they actually are giving you is escrowed synthetics when you get these payouts, and you have to have it escrowed for the next 365 days until you can get it. And then like to now sell your synthetics, you have to sell the USD coins back to synthetics, and then you can now get them unstaked. But then you can't sell them because you've got these escrowed ones that you have to deal with. See where I'm going here? They're like, I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. And I tried to play the system for a while to see the pluses and minuses of both, and it's terrible. And then when I finally did try and get my money out, there's still like $30 in there that I can't fucking get. I'm just stuck in there for, I don't know, until my escrow is up in a year, I guess. So I didn't ask for that.
It's all like that. It's funny. Everything is like that. Like I haven't promoted it, but I got this Visa card. Where it works great. I mean, I can use the card. I can spend any crypto that they have in their little exchange deal, but I had to get a certain amount of their token and hold it. And the more amount of that token I hold, the better monthly return I get on my money. Like a little 5% Visa card or whatever. But if you hold a certain amount of dollars in their crypto, you get a bonus on, and it's a cash bonus. It's cool. But those coins aren't transferable. You can't trade them. They're nothing. They're just sitting in there, So I'm like, oh damn, it's stuck in there. But some of the technologies work. But like you said, there's so many of these. They hold up your money everywhere. Everywhere is held up, and I hear them saying that about Hex a lot out there. They're like, "Oh, well, you got to stake your coins. How do you make money when you don't have to stake?
Good luck selling it. Good luck selling your Hex." It's like,
that's one of those like Jeff Foxworthy style. Here's your sign kind of things. Where like when somebody says that, I just immediately know what sort of rudimentary level of knowledge of this project that you have, which is very low. So like, okay, I know what kind of ad hominem garbage attacks I'm going to deal with when you come at me. And, I have to. So like, it's a here's your sign. Like, oh, okay, thanks for your time. Good, cool.
Yeah, I've been getting that on Twitter a lot. Like, good luck selling your coins, bro. It's like, yeah, you can sell it on Uniswap pretty easily. Just cash out on Coinbase. Well, okay, what about the liquidity? Well, I don't have 36,000 Ethereum to sell against, so I'm not sure what you want me to tell you. If you have $17 million of Ethereum that you want to sell into it, maybe it's a problem. Maybe go to an exchange, but I don't know anybody that has that much.
He's got $17 million worth of Ethereum. Like, again, why are they arguing with me on crypto Twitter? I just don't understand. Numbers say I don't think that's the case. I don't think you need all that liquidity. I think you're good.
Exactly. Why I sell my Hex, man?
You see that guy? You see that guy on YouTube?
He sold. I had 16 million Hex.
I don't know if he's messing around or if he really did. That was. What's his name? Shoot, I should have grabbed his name.
It's like Yahoo TV or something.
I don't know. He's a DApp guy, and he's Toucan Air guy, DApp guy, and he's like, oh man, I sold my Hex. Sold it. Why did I sell my Hex? I'm sick to my stomach.
That's like the best part to me about why I was glad to get in early when it was so cheap, because I wasn't afraid back then about staking a lot of these coins for a long, good amounts of time, and like now I'm just like, I haven't staked everything, but like most of my stuff is staked that I'm not at all tempted to sell. Cause what I do have unstaked, there's many a lonely night that I'm sitting in my garage here with my finger over the Uniswap button, like, how much?
And then you see another green candle and you're like, all right, well,
and then I feel like a genius. I'm like, I did the right thing. Yeah, you did. Nice work.
Look at that trader. I should just become a trader.
But when I look at my Hex Live, and you can see your wallet, your amount there, you're just like, oh my God, the USD amount. I remember I got my cousin into Bitcoin back in early 2017, before August. So he got a bunch, and Bitcoin went to 20 grand, and he was like, he dumped at like 18 grand. I think he ended up
nice.
He said, I'm out of here, bro. I said, no, don't get out. This thing could go higher, 50 grand. He's like, no. He goes, I'm out of here. I'm taking my run. And he bought like a $70,000 backyard for his house and everything, and he walked out with that. And to this day, of course, he's a happy man. he's a happy
Yep.
man because
Mhm.
you know Bitcoin's never ever seen that again, and he got to walk with that kind of earnings. So
That's
and
awesome.
has a beautiful swimming pool and all that in his backyard now because of it. And he was like, "Man, best thing you ever did." Glad I didn't listen to you though when you told me not to get out. I'm glad you didn't listen to me either.
Yeah, I had a buddy who like got into mining. Like he just invested and bought some mining equipment that I ran for him, you know, way back then in 2017. And like right about August is when we had been doing it since like late 2016. Right about August is when he's like, I'm out, get rid of it all. I'm taking a trip. Peace out,
right
yo,
before
and
the
spent
fall?
it all. Yeah, right before.
Oh, that sucks.
But right now he's going, you know, I spent it at a bit. It was probably around what, 5-6 grand right there.
It was about
August.
$4,000. Yeah,
$4
I think
grand.
he sold it.
So
yeah.
he
No, he did very well.
He did all right.
Like I said, his summer tour was like totally covered. He was partying on tour and enjoyed himself thoroughly. You know, so he was happy camper. But I mean, yeah, that winter when it went crazy, he was like, damn.
Could have had a better.
But again,
party next
stupidly, you know, I was one of those people that stupidly was like, when he was like, then when I was going to 20K, he was like, you should probably sell it. I was like, I'm not listening to your dumb ass that sold way back at 4K. Fuck yourself. And like then it crashed, and I was like,
Yeah.
He's like, see, I told you. I was like, I double hate you right now.
So I get. Well, I mean, Hex is still a baby. I mean, we've got to figure out. You know, at what point what is your point? What is your level where you're going to sell some? You know, do you have? Do any of you guys have like
my stakes coming out? I
Well, when
plan
this-
on taking the interest off my stakes at the first, like the interest that I've accrued. And if it's that much, I don't know if it'll be that much. And then just staking the principal at the end, like always having that principal coming out. So, you know, it could be lifelong if this continues to go on forever, you know, at least like just, you know, keep my principal and always have my principal in there and just live off the interest. And just,
Well, I mean, it is forever
this to the
because
end.
you can't take it off the. I mean, it's once they hit the start button, it was it. I mean, Hex
yeah,
is here
no,
forever.
I mean, like if it continues to just keep going, or even if it stays to a certain price or whatever after a while, then it's like it never goes down to
So
wherever.
you think that's what? I mean, obviously, I mean, all cryptos go up and down, but I mean, once Hex finds its place, this is like what I've been thinking of. It's like, okay, so the volatility in Hex is more than likely going to kind of go away. You're going to have like kind of a stable level. There's going to be a point after big payday, after the first couple of years, after the hype wears off, and the product becomes what it is, which is the CD.
Yeah.
You know, what happens? I mean, where does it stay at? You know, us early guys, we're going to be freaking sitting bitching because we could do what Hexo said. You know, just keep staking it and taking the interest and boom, boom, boom. Other people are going to be getting in at a level where it's not going to be moving much. It's going to kind of like level off. Is my
They
thought.
they still will live off their, or maybe, you know, they might not be able to live off it unless they get big purchases. But I mean, that's still a good, you know, that's a good way to get people in. It's just, hey, you can live off passive income. Here's a passive income.
But it's going to be way more expensive, and it's going to be more like a CD product at that
no
point.
financial advice.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's a lot of what I expect as well. I mean, like me, like personally, as far as sell price, if that's the first part of that question, I mean, like I would say that like from the get go, I said I'd drop a quarter or whatever I had at a penny, you know. So like now that's what I say. Like that's my public speaking voice, you know. Privately, I'm like, maybe I'll sell at 0.9 just to front run everybody that I'm telling.
But I mean, we're over a half a penny already. Do you?
That's
think we're going to stop at a penny now? I mean, I was thinking, man, if it hits a penny, holy crap, man!
I'd still consider taking 20% out myself, just because, like, you know, life and stuff, and like I'd like, you know, like I said, taking a little bit, it would be a good idea, because that's like my thoughts on that. You know, I would like to, because I know how it is, you know. Like Richard says it best, like, man, fucking crypto can go up a lot higher than you expect and a lot lower than you expect. And I'd rather, you know, have a little bit wait, you know, then once you take a little bit out at some point, then you've got dry powder just sitting there waiting for the next, you know, if there is a big 80% dip, then like, I mean, this would be the one I would reinvest in, you know. But and then to finish that up, like, I think that from the numbers of everything, the volatility will definitely eke out of the system after the second year. I mean, like, you know, once the second 2 to 2.5 years goes by, and like you've got 40% of the supply that's gone through the big payday, seen that returns, and by then you'll have a very smooth curve on those staking, how the actual stakes are going to come out, over time. So like but the system should be meant to slow the volatility down over time. Like it's supposed to have both, like be the best of both worlds, be crazy volatile at the beginning to onboard people, and then chill out to bring in the people that just want to see those regular, percentage style gains. That is now as far as armchair math on where it can actually go. If you like the bar napkin math on it, I mean, we're at like, the coin Paprika is, let's calling it 400 and something billion dollars right now, and that's it with 200 billion coins coming out. Yeah, 400 million, and we've got 200 billion coins out right now. So like by the end of big payday, like after this year is up, we'll have 400 million out plus the big payday ones that come out, but those won't really hit the system until people unstake. So you'll have yeah, exactly. So your 500 billion coins that you'll have available, at $1 a piece would put us at like, I know I'm just like just to say for around numbers, would put us at a $500 billion market cap. And now that right now it would be like about 2.5 times what Bitcoin's is right now. Now if Bitcoin does a let's say it does a 10x or like everybody wants, and it goes to $90,000, then its market cap is going to be just over $1 trillion. And having another project in the ecosystem that's worth half of that doesn't seem insane.
No, it doesn't seem unlikely.
Doesn't seem insane. Now, I'm not saying that that's like going to be reality, but like, again, anything higher than that, anybody that's going to say like $10 a coin, well, now at $10 a coin, we're like a $6 trillion project, and like we're worth almost all the gold in the world. So like that seems a little fucking unlikely.
But that's with all of it unstaked, right? That's with everything unstaked.
Yeah, that's
so if it's 90% staked and you only get 10% of that, and we go up to like $500 billion,
then it is like, possible. It is possible that we would then be at like near $1 trillion market cap.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if that will ever happen. But again, the math.
The math is there. So. Like $10 seems like but crazy, but anything over that, and that's just when people are like, Ripple's going to $580. Like,
589 guys. 589.
Yeah. That's
so,
just doesn't make sense.
So let me jump in there with this. So when you look at the coin market cap right now, and and I don't look that deep into all of it, but as far as where this money's coming from, look at the market cap, guys. We're at 270 billion right now. That's 20 billion like in the last few days. It was like 259 a few days ago. So there's money coming in. I don't know where it's all going. Probably maybe it's sitting in some of the stable coins and sidelining right now. I don't know what's really pumping.
Mexico.
But this shit's been sitting down at 180, 190 billion dollars for the whole bear market. It's been down, and now all of a sudden it's pumped up.
Well, there's the two different things that are there's this balance that's happening that's always kind of going on. We're like, okay, there's this new technology, this fucking actual DeFi that people are actually pumping their money into, and then there's all these old ass fucking coins that have bag holders that are going to ride it out forever. And so like they're both going like this, one's up and one's down at this point in time. So like there's still going to be a lot of bag holders holding stuff, and there'll be pumps of those. I mean, look at DigiByte, that just pumped super hard recently.
Yeah,
I mean, like
because we passed them.
You gotta wonder. I mean, if when we start talking about it or coming near them, I mean, if people, the whales in that community are like, oh, maybe we should do something right now. I mean, who knows? I'm not a whale to know, but I do think that the older coins, as they peter out, there is new money coming into these new projects that actually have solutions to problems that we need. I mean, as far as like fun things to do, I mean, I will say I wish Litecoin Moses was here, because like the only other thing that I've been messing around with at all has been Decentraland, just a little bit, just because it's kind of funny, and
he got me in there too.
I'm just goofing around with it a little bit, but like that actually, I mean, like it works. I actually have
it does.
I just got one of like my fun purchase that I got for myself was one of those Oculuses, the VR.
Oh shit!
and it's super fun. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's pretty fun.
I
So
have
like
one.
doing those VR experiences like that in there is, I could see that. I could see there being.
I gotta check that shit out.
Yeah,
You know what? I got some
It's
hex
like
that I'm going to
legit-
cash
it's
out to go
legit
get
VR.
me one.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not
shit.
like the card. If you've tried the cardboard ones, with
No,
the phone,
this
it's
is way
nothing.
better.
It's nothing
Yeah.
like that. It's like
It's
you can get into it.
Oh, yeah,
you
I've
can
never
get
even heard of
really-
this.
It's
What?
it's so legit, dude. That like, okay, there's this game Super Hot that's a lot of fun on there. That's
Super
like
hot, dude.
Yeah, it's like when you're frozen in place, nothing time is standing still. But when you start moving, then the bad guys start coming at you. So like you can see like the gun down there and the knife there and the guy coming at you, and you like reach down for the knife, and like he starts shooting the gun, but you freeze and you like dodge the bullet and throw the knife.
Oh wow.
It's fun,
Oh,
dude. It's
what's
fun.
gonna happen next? You
Oh
know, but,
shit!
like,
See, I've been wanting to get me an Oculus, and
I
Dude.
was playing.
I've got a little bit of hex that I can go get me an Oculus with.
Yeah, they're
But I
pretty
heard
fun.
So
Second
you can buy
Life-
one for 70,000 hex, guys.
Yeah,
I
that's
paid
it.
for 2 pizzas with that earlier. So.
But I heard Second Life was going to come out with it.
Yes,
or,
they're gonna
Second
have
Life,
a VR experience.
and
for it,
then
too.
Is this
Decentraland
like
was
virtual
also going to do
reality
VR.
shit or something? What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
headset that
Is
you
it
wear.
really? Oh wow! See, I'm out of the matrix. I got.
Yeah,
Oh man.
dude, it is. You feel like you're going.
Oh.
It's bizarre, dude.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, even like just like the 3D experiences where you're like on
You get
Everest,
fucking
like,
plugged
yeah,
in.
it's pretty cool.
Right?
But the game's really legit. I mean, it was realistic enough when I started on it that like when I was playing a game and like shooting over a console, like I lean over on the console and just fall over on the
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, you like legit. It is. Like, and then they have like these movie theaters. You can go sit in the movie theater with other people that are playing movies all the time, and you can go
What?
and like hang out with your friends, and they have movies that are just
Yeah, and
going on. You can
it's
sit
a
and
Oh
watch
better-
it.
man.
it's a better
Yeah,
experience
that's
than
cool.
like the VR, the older stuff, where it's like the movie's like in your face because
Yeah.
you're like sitting in this fake theater. It's like, and you're experiencing it further away. It's like
Yeah.
comfortable. It's like you can
Yeah, it's
actually
legit,
sit in
yeah.
it for a couple hours and do it. It's worthy.
Very
It's worthy.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
I'll
cool.
bet it makes
For what
porn
it is.
fun too.
No comment. No
gotten there
comment.
yet, but I've heard.
I have heard that. I'm not sure though.
Uh-huh.
I check out Reddit
Whoa.
from now and then when they talk about it. Those silly guys.
Yeah, that's dirty bird.
Those 4chaners.
Yeah, those sickos. Yeah, I've never tried it for myself for sure.
Yep. No. Yeah, but I mean, definitely is a fun tool. And the Quest one that they have is nifty because like somebody already has hacked it. So because like they have the ones that are like wireless or the ones you can plug into your computer and like play like the super 5K shit on. And like the Quests are weren't supposed to be able to do that, but somebody already hacked it. So now you can plug it in and
Really?
play all the Steam games and all that stuff too.
Oh, is that a
Yeah.
Steam game too?
Yeah, you can like Steam has like a whole Steam VR platform that you can,
I
like there's a brand new.
I haven't been in there in so long. That's what my
Alex.
gaming company was part of the Steam network. But
really?
Yeah. Half-Life just released like a VR only game. Like you can only get it if you.
yeah,
have
that's
VR.
what I meant. Half-Life, not
Really?
Second Life. I said
Yeah,
Second
yeah.
Life. was
Wow.
Half-Life.
Yeah, I've been playing it. It's pretty.
Oh, you play the Half-Life game?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
legit. It's actually
Yeah,
real
is
good.
it?
So
You
what?
have to have face suckers on you, and you have to like shoot them off before they start
Oh
sucking.
no
your
shit!
face.
Wow,
Oh, no way.
that's awesome, dude.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I was
You
waiting.
start-
I like
Yeah,
that.
dude,
check
you
that
start
out.
getting a real workout. Like they have legit like it's called it's free. It's free too on Steam. It's called like Squat Hero or something. And they have these things coming at you, and you have to squat, and they just keep coming at you, and you get a good workout, man. Like you'll be sweating.
That's true.
That-
The workout programs on there, man. I'll like work out for a half hour and be like beat after the workout, and like it's so fun though that I want to do more. Like I wish I was in better shape to do. I was like I could play better. But I'm like,
All right. So which one do I
Quarantine
get?
life, man,
The
gets you fat and
Quest is
shit.
the one that I got.
What's that?
The Quest is the one that I got. They've got like the Go is the cheap one. The Quest is the wireless one that you can plug in, and then the other one I can't remember is like you have to plug it in. So I like the wireless one.
I got the plug-in one just because. Well, it was because it wasn't even out yet. The other ones weren't, but. Yeah, I don't know if I haven't tried the other two yet.
The Rift.
I know
that's the other one. The Rift. Yeah.
The Rift.
But it
they
is
came
a-
out with
it's-
like Rift
they're-
S, I think.
Yes,
like
they
the-
did
They're
come
all
out with the
Oculus,
Rift
though,
S.
right?
Yeah, the Rift S is supposed to have kind of best of both worlds too. Yeah.
All right, I'm Amazoning it right now.
It's
It's funny, dude, they like sold, like every one of them was sold out after that stimulus check came out. Like, God, dude.
That's a good way to get like if you just put that on and go to like the Himalayas or something.
Oh yeah, you're feeling immediately better about your situation. You're like, it sucks here, but
Yeah.
Put a little fan in front of you so you just feel like you're there. You're like,
yeah, just open up the fridge.
Mints on you every once in a while.
That was one of my ICOs that I got into. I can't remember the name of it, but I dumped a bunch of money into a VR ICO that was they were going to be like the YouTube of VR. So they were going to give you a YouTube experience on top of, they were going to have all this pay content. So like you could sit on the 50-yard line or whatever football game you want to, or have, nosebleed seats, or go to concerts or go to hockey games or whatever and watch it live, that's a great idea, but they never did
That's
it.
an ICO.
Yeah.
Great idea.
That's an ICO. Great idea.
Execution.
Shit, man. I was so excited. I was like, yo, this is going to make fucking, I'm rich, man. I'm rich.
Yeah. As soon as you talk to like the kid who put the idea together, you're like, oh my God, not this. This is the guy.
12-year-old that I gave all my money to.
Like half of that back, real quick. I'm gonna.
He doesn't even have a driver's license. He's got a Lambo.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I can't tell you how many of these 12-year-olds I bought Lambos.
Yeah. The funny thing is that the world that we live in, I was just watching the thing where like the kid who built the best, like the coronavirus, I said it, CV, the website that everybody is using like worldwide right now. That kid is like 17 years old.
He made a freaking shit ton of money off of it.
He turned down $8 million for advertisements on there. He's like, no, I'm good.
Oh, he said he gave it away for free, right?
Yeah, he gave it away for free. No big deal. It's already a full stack developer. Doesn't need college.
An awesome kid.
Yeah, that's the kid that's like, 4 years ago when you were playing Call of Duty and he's some 12-year-old was just wrecking your ass. Yeah, that was him. He's just like,
talking about your mom.
You're talking about your girlfriend. You're coding life-changing secrets to the world over here while he's just like, your mom.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm sweating, trying to beat him.
I know, I love these kids,
hilarious.
man. I freaking love them, man.
It gives that kind of stuff though gives me a lot of obviously hope for the future generations, man. Like they've clearly got some things going on that like they've got attention to detail that I probably don't have.
Well, I say it all the time, the generations after me they're all the smart ones. All you guys, I know I'm old. Well, maybe Black Sheep and me are about the same age, but the rest of you guys get it, man. But we're blocking you guys from taking the world into the 21st century.
I mean, it's the nature of it, man. I mean, like it's worse over in Europe too. Like kids that I know that were my age, years ago, when I was visiting there a lot in my 20s, would say the same thing. They're like, man, there's just no like in France, Italy, these places where there's like just no opportunity. I mean, what are you gonna do? Open up a butcher when like that guy's butcher shop has been there since like the 1800s? Like, it's really hard to bust into the economics there, and I could see why, so that's why why people want to hold it down. Old people are definitely holding it, and the longer they live, the more they're going to be like, no, we're good here. We're gonna keep making the money. Hey, what's up, Coffee?
Yo, what up, Coffee? Looks like you got a freaking target on your chest or something.
Reputation. He's got a lot of reputation from the chat. It's all pluses. He's got so many pluses. Oh, you're muted, Crypto Coffee.
You're muted. Unmute, homie. Oh, wait, let me see if I got him muted. Do I got him muted? No, I don't have him muted. You might want to go see where it says camera mic down there. Go down there and make sure that it's not grabbing your default settings or something. Might be. Cool. It's going to be a long stream today. We get Coffee on here. I don't think. Dude, you're so fucking smart, man. I mean, dude,
that's what adds to the
way you dissect and explain shit. And that one YouTube you did a couple of weeks ago was just freaking phenomenal.
Dude, I appreciate that. Yeah. See a lot of bullshit crypto YouTubers out there that really don't know what they're talking about. So. But I like coming out here.
I'm not that
Hey,
smart.
hey,
so coffee.
Coffee kills it, and I could understand that too.
Nice to meet you, bro.
The Hex crew is.
What happened to the hair? Crypto Black Sheep. What happened to the hair, man?
Yeah. That was awesome.
What's up, man? It's
He cut it on
Dude, I live in Vegas, man. It gets hot after a few minutes. You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Nice to meet you, bro.
Likewise.
Yeah. Good to meet you,
So
brother.
coffee. Where you at? Where you stationed?
Chicago. I don't like to tell people, but I
Nice.
might as well.
No, right on.
Nice, right on.
That's where I used to be from.
Planet Earth.
I'm from there. I used to live there. Used to frequent there all the time until coronavirus. I worked there like once a month usually.
Really?
Yeah. All my family lives up in that neck of the woods. It's awesome.
Nice.
It's just cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Not
It's
right
cold,
now.
well.
But
It's the desert. Yeah, it probably gets like super cold at nights, right? Like hot as hell in the day and then super cold in the night. That's how the desert.
At least now I don't feel left out with the green screen crew, right? But he's got like actual like what's they call on the walls, the texture.
Yeah, I like the drywall you got back there.
I mean, we're all.
Oh,
it's
what
all
are you doing?
Progress.
Come here, puppy. Come here.
So what's
Yeah,
up, bro?
I gotta get me a green screen, man. I'm jealous of you guys. Like,
I know. I gotta give
so
it
much
too.
more
It ain't
professional.
like it ain't like it's a high dollar item, man. It's a
Yeah.
freaking
Like
piece of
15
green
bucks.
cloth. That's it.
Yeah.
This is my Westie.
Oh.
Mine's
Name-
not perfect. It looks like I'm
name's
having
Chloe.
There we go.
Yeah, you're showing us your room there. For a little bit.
Yeah. It's breaking through. It's not exact. It's just a garage here. It looks much
Grab
worse
bag.
than
I'm gonna let her
anywhere else.
out.
So what's up, Coffee?
Dude, I've been working all day, but figured I'd stop by and see what's going on with you guys. Are we at new all-time highs yet? What's going on?
Come back down. We're
Not yet.
Where we at, Hexo?
5.6.
That's still
That was-
pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still awesome.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
just we saw a little pump green candle go to 5.8, and we were like, here it goes. Here it's happening. The GIF.
Oh, yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I got this sick
Dips
trend
aren't
line.
even
that-
really dips, man. They kind of like fake you out. They're like, okay, we're gonna get a dip here, and then it just like goes.
Yeah.
Somebody just messaged me on
Start
Twitter.
skipping along. It's like, this ain't a dip. Where's the
Reverse
dip?
head and shoulders. That's what they just texted and messaged me. So which I don't even, I don't do the TA stuff like that. I don't ever do any patterns like that. I usually do like support and resistance lines. That's about all I.
I actually took Tone Base's course.
Oh, you did?
on trading. Yeah. I actually met
So
him.
do you
hung
do
out
the
with him.
TD?
I've done it before, and it works if you have discipline. But like, that's the thing is you got to be glued to the screen all day long. I just decided, it's not really the life for me. Like, it does work if you do it right. But I've also seen a lot of people lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. I've lost quite a few trades, but when you do it right, it feels good. So I can see why people like that. But
What kind of
Tone's
time frame
strategy-
do you have to do it? Like 15 minutes or 5 minutes or any?
Yeah, good question. And it's all different for different people, right? So people have different strategies based on, if they're a day trader, they'll probably use like the 30-minute, 1 hour, 15-minute charts. The way I learned was kind of like swing trading. So we'd be holding anywhere from like 3 days to like, 2 weeks. That's crazy. And, but yeah, man, it's kind of fun, but it's looking at screens all day long. It's like I got other shit I want to do. I just don't have the, I guess, discipline, but it's also just I'm not like cracked out in front of my TV all the time either.
Yeah. It's a different kind of discipline, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like you kind of just waste your life away just looking at like the right time, and then you're like, oh, I missed it by a minute or 20 minutes or something. You're like, I went for I had to go take a shower this week. I had to take a shower this week. I missed it.
Yeah, dude. Like one of my best friends is super into options trading, and it's just been like pure cocaine for him. And he'll be up $5,000 one week, down $8,000 the next, and it's like,
Oh my
dude,
god.
At the end of the day, it's like you probably just broke even, if not lost. Now he's talking about trading like his parents' money. It's like, no, don't do that.
Wow.
Like the time they put into it. Jeez, you're like, Yeah, you can't be making money on that. Yeah.
And I gotta wonder about a lot of these crypto traders too. I'm not trying to call them out, but like,
No, yeah.
are they all really making that much money? Like, I don't know. I mean, very few people do.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's like if you
Blockchain.
see the actual scam video that they show on YouTube where they're like, where the guy's like, I have all this cash and I'm just a kick-ass trader, you know, like that. If you were actually that guy, you'd either be selling that like bullshit like that, or you just wouldn't ever like. Why would you just be on the beach? You just be doing your thing. You know, you wouldn't be trying to sell it to other people and arguing with people like Twitter.
Why would you even like? There's no reason to sell it to other people when you're making the money already, and then you're telling people your strategy, so you don't even have that strategy as your own anymore. Yeah. So you're losing money, like you're losing kind of your edge on the markets at that point.
Yeah, that's another thing. Tone strategy probably worked in the earlier days of crypto, but now that everyone's kind of catching on to it, you know, the more people that know.
Like, he says that himself. I've heard
everybody's strategy worked early in crypto.
Well, yeah, that was what that
buy one and hold it.
The gentleman, the guy that Joe's 007 that just quit trading that I was talking about earlier. That was one of the things he even said in his Twitter, like spiel when he said he's out. Is he was like nowadays, if you find an edge, people are searching for people's edges to then counter trade just what people think that their edge is. You know, like they're constantly over analyzing people. It's like it's a game that's jerk. Yeah, and it's super hard to get in front of anything with that kind of. I mean, when people are actively looking for whatever the edge is, just to ruin it. You know.
Yeah. Well, they make money from courses, and they make money from selling you know, their secret paid groups or whatever. It's like pay me to lose all your money. I'm actually in one of them. I'm in Tone Vase's paid group.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, all you had to do is pay to go to his class one time.
Yeah. Did you get a steak dinner with it?
Yeah, man. It was kind of.
Or is that just a cheeseburger?
I kind of felt shafted afterwards. I'm like, why the fuck did I just pay that much money to hang out with a bunch of guys that they weren't even that cool? Like they were just like normal guys.
No, so that wasn't the steak dinner. That was the cheeseburger and the live stream plan.
Yeah.
I remember my first beer.
That's the thing is like. You listen to him for 2 or whatever, however many hours that he did a day, and it's like, well, what is he giving away that he's not giving away on his live streams? Like there can't be that much because he is talking for 2 hours a day, so he's gonna slip up on his strategy at certain points if he's not already doing that. So that's what because I was thinking about taking the course too, and I was like, well, I don't know, like I'm not that good of a trader in general. So
well, he came to Chicago one time, and I was like, why not? You know, I was watching his videos, not anymore, but basically what you're paying for is he tells you the priority order of all of his indicators that he uses. So you might know all the indicators, but you don't know what takes precedence over this other one.
With a handful of marbles in his mouth.
Yeah, with that shit the whole time too.
I swear, it sounds like the dude's got a freaking handful of marbles in his mouth while he's trying to talk to you.
It's too easy to rip on.
Yeah, he is. He gets it. Anyway,
marble gargler.
Yeah.
I am always interested in all that. I mean, I got interested enough to try out I purchased one of those gun bots and set it all up and messed around with it for a while, and like that stuff like the automated trading bot stuff, that none of that really that's all good. You're gonna waste a lot of time setting up servers to run stuff that is most likely going to not work right for you, or not buy things properly, or mostly just suck. It's a lot.
And all the pre-bought ones that I got into, none of them ever worked.
Yeah, I mean, I got it working and doing what I wanted it to do, but then you're just buying to buy EMAs and Bollinger Bands or something like that is it's complex enough to, and that's not actually going to make you money. It's not.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I always get mad about is whatever time frame you set your strategy on. I used to try to automate everything, but it might get triggered halfway through the candle and it would buy. But imagine it just does a giant wick down and it triggers your buy, but it doesn't close at the place you want it to. Then you have to be sitting there to adjust it manually. So there's no point in automating it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't even.
Well, correct.
Yep. That's. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that they make a killing with that stuff too. I mean, trying to set and again, once you have the technical proficiency to actually set up and be able to manage a bot properly, that's about the time that you learn that thing is not going to work.
Yeah. Yep. So just take it from me, guys. Anyone watching right now, don't waste your time.
Yeah,
Or do whatever.
That's what I've ever always said.
Who you want?
Get a good crypto, just put it away, use it when you need it.
Yeah. Buy Hex. Take it for 20 years.
Give me an Oculus.
Yeah.
Next bump, I'm getting an Oculus. Period.
Oculus. Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
There, it's a lot of fun. I'm all about it. I mean, like, and that's the thing is like anything now to like take my time, make me focus on something else, because I can't just sit here watching this chart all day.
Yeah, you can.
As much as I want,
and you will.
It's
like all of you out there in the chat.
Like,
You're all
That's
watching
all
your
you're
damn charts all night long. Don't even tell me you're not. I know you are.
Sometimes it'll start pumping at like 12:30 at night, and I'll be like, "Oh, great! I'm gonna be up all night."
How many of you woke up and just like, I gotta check in the middle of the night? Just I gotta check it real quick just to see what time it's doing.
Guilty.
I hate that. I vowed once I got into Hex, I was like, well, I'm gonna stake these out so I don't have to look at charts anymore. And now I'm just like stuck on the charts.
Right.
Damn it! And to be fair, like if you listen very clearly to like stuff that Richard says,
God.
like he tells you that straight up. He's like, this has all the speculative stickiness to it. He like warned everyone ahead of time. Like there's going to be so much stuff to pay attention to. You're going to want to watch everything. That's why it's going to be awesome. And like he's just 100% right. Like you just
But what sucks is like I'll like crash out at 2:00 in the morning and then wake up at 3:30 in the morning, check the chart again, and then boom, I'm in Telegram, chatting on Hex chat going on. What am I doing?
Like I said, it's like a question, and then you have to answer it, and then somebody else is like, "Hey, what's up?" And then you got to talk to them. And it's like, "Oh man, I've been here for 3 hours. What did I do?"
The amount of time.
I know you always say, "Hey, Hexo's like, I'm going to bed. Good night, guys." And then an hour later, I'll see him. I'm going to bed. Well, I am in bed. I'm just on my computer in bed.
That's my next goofy thing is when I get like, I don't know, a little boat or something to mess around. It's just something to not be like just paying attention to this shit all the time because I know it's just like it's awesome, but like at the same time I'm like, damn.
That's why I think like someday you just gotta like honestly just get out of crypto for a while.
Yeah.
Like take a break for a minute.
I'm secretly looking forward to 2 years from now when the price finally stabilizes and I can be like, all right, it's gonna.
But it's been like the perfect storm because we got this Corona thing going on and everyone's at home. You're at home all day. You're in quarantine, and what a more perfect time than to just freaking out on your freaking computer all day and watch charts and play with Hex and get
and it's getting a lot of people. Like I mean, I have a couple of my friends that are like that are the most pragmatic, like very not cautious people. And the one buddy, I just gave him some. I was just like, here's 100,000, like way back when, like just check it out, man. Just whenever you get around to it. And like now he's like, how do I put more Ethereum in? I need to like, can you give me the best way? Like that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
The AA lobby.
Since one of the smartest guys in Hex is in the room here, Crypto Coffee, we had a question earlier that we wanted to talk about. Now I wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah.
So we see this volatility, which really isn't that much volatility. It's really like straight up and then straight sideways and straight up and then straight sideways, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But we were talking about how, after the AA and Hex becomes the product that it is, which is a CD, which is really a predictable interest rate kind of, product that, most banks see. And that's what it's going to, it's here forever. It's immutable. It's on the blockchain. It's going to be this product. So as we see big payday come, as we see the volatility start to level out, what do you see Hex doing in the future as it starts to turn into the adolescent or the adult crypto that it's supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean, like everything's an S curve, and so I think it's still going to be an S curve for a long time. I don't think that big payday is going to stop like the pump. I think if anything, big payday is going to be another news event that brings in a whole new mass of people. And like, everyone's talking about this mythical dump that's going to happen on big payday, like when the project's finally going to die and then they can all be vindicated because they were right. And really, I mean, you're going to have a lot of new buyers at that time too, because the supply gets cut off forever. And the only way to make more hex is to stake it. So I think people are going to catch on, and it's going to start almost another wave. I don't see anything plateauing for another, like, what's up? Yeah, I don't think it's plateauing till like 2021, 22, 2023 maybe. Like it's gonna be fuck yeah, crypto Blackster. No, you know, it's not gonna plateau until after the bull market. That's my thought.
That's what I was saying. Like,
Bitcoin will do.
Crypto
What do you think
coffee.
Bitcoin will do? Crypto coffee? Like, do you think it's bull market starting, or do you think that it's
yeah?
Because you have like you are more of like the crypto guy. I'm in my echo chamber, and I know that I'm in the echo chamber. I'm like,
hey man, we're all in our echo chamber. Somebody commented on my video the other day. They were like, "Stop drinking the Kool-Aid, bro." And I'm like, "Dude, we're just drinking different flavors of Kool-Aid, man." Like,
yeah. I like all of them.
Seriously. But yeah, you seem like more of like you have kind of a thumb on the pulse of different things, or even Bitcoin or maybe Ethereum as well. So
I mean, I'm in a lot of groups and all that, but really it's just like, look at the macro stuff, I guess. Look at all the companies forming. Like, I don't see growth slowing down for Bitcoin at all. It's going to become commercialized. I think there'll be a day where it's going to be like the smart thing to do for your financial advisor to recommend that you have 5 to 10% of your portfolio in crypto, kind of like gold. And so once that goes mainstream, I mean, that's when you really start seeing it plateau. But 5 years, 10 years, I mean, it's a long way to go. I don't know.
So you're thinking S curve for another 5 years then, right?
Yeah, and even more so in Hex. Like the hockey stick is way angled sharper in Hex. I mean, with Bitcoin, we might be nearing the top of it. Hex has just gotten started. So these things come in cycles, and it's more about what goes up and doesn't crash, right? So Bitcoin's been one of the few that goes up, logarithmically and doesn't just die.
Yeah.
I mean, they all come down 95%, but which ones get up and don't die?
Right.
Yep. That's true.
Are you looking at any other coins now, Crypto Coffee? Or do anything else spark your interest? Or
no, I could tell you all the things I've exited for Hex. Like,
how about the other staking coins that are out there? Do you see any comparisons? I mean, I know that Hex has a lot of different facets to it than the others that are out there, but I know that the staking coins are becoming popular. And
man. So
what's the differences you're seeing?
Tezos was a big one.
That Darth Vader?
I got involved in the ICO of Tezos and held it all the way through. They had like a whole year of drama where they were getting sued, they were getting all the shit. So that's another thing. You see these drama, these FUD waves come in every crypto. Like everyone's talking shit until it gets better, until they can't anymore. And so that happened to Tezos, and I held Tezos for 2.5 years, but I sold it all for Hex. Unfortunately, I sold it at $1 and it went to like $3 like the month after, but that's how it goes. But that one's a staking coin that people like because it's like predictable, and people like predictability, right? They like regular income, and they like, taking the volatility away from crypto and being able to get those steady gains, almost like getting a paycheck. But so people like Tezos because you can get 6% interest a year, but that's not nearly as exciting to me as like the 1 in a million chance of like Hex just blowing everybody out of the water. I mean, I'd like to take higher risk, higher reward type of thing.
Yeah, me too.
And with Tezos, there's nothing stopping you from pulling out. Like you can pull out at any time. I think it takes you like 3 days to stop your baking cycle, and then you can just sell.
So you don't have any penalties on jumping out of your bake cycle?
No, the penalties are one of the greatest parts about Hex.
I know.
Like, yeah,
because it gives stakers the stickiness.
Yeah,
and people, and it makes people double think about pulling out early.
They act like that's part of why it's scammy, but like the real world is full of these dark patterns that screw you all over the place, and none of these things that exist in the real world like pay me. Or am I ever going to see? Am I ever going to get like $1 from your overdraft fees? Fuck now.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
you know, like
That's a good way
That's
to
the
put it.
beautiful
The
part.
overdraft fees.
That's the
It's
beautiful
like,
part.
yeah,
We're the bank.
thanks. Everybody's
We're the
getting paid
bank.
that overdraft.
yeah, you get that option to be a stakeholder with the bank in the money
the
like
bank.
that,
Yeah,
which is great.
at least paying it 50-50. Like, hey, half the bank goes into the bank and half of
Yeah,
it goes
half
to
of it
me
comes
just
to
because I
me.
kept my money in there. That
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense to me. Like, if
That's
the bank
fair.
wants to take 50%,
Yeah, and
like,
I mean, and,
I get it.
and
You guys manufactured it. Now I get
Sure.
50 as well. Hey, that's, I didn't even have to do anything to get that 50% from your banking fees.
It's more fair than a regular bank, and it's fairer than anything out there in
Yeah.
crypto. And
Oh,
this
I mean,
is
like
one of the
it's-
things that they're talking shit about out there is
And
that,
there should be-
the OA gets 50% of that. Well, so do I, you dumb shit.
yeah, exactly. That's something that they don't ever mention at all.
Yeah, they don't mention that. Oh, it's
And
a
again,
scam. They get
because
rapid fees.
It all boils down to two things, no matter which way you cut it. It's I don't like that whales have a lot, and I don't like Richard Hart's personality. Those are the only two arguments. It's like no matter it's the origin address, flush address, whatever. They just don't like that there's whales, not knowing that Bitfinex token owns 98% of their own token.
Dude, that was the best video. I always tell people to go to your video. I'm like,
Yeah,
Crypto
that is
Copy
right.
does the best video on it. You can see how many other projects are like, look, this one has 98% of their coins, and nobody's crying about Bitfinex
it's
having
just
quite the big one.
I know
That's just
that
game
one.
theory, man. Everybody, and no matter what the system is, there's going to be some smart players that are going to accumulate a bunch of whatever it is. So
They want to
you're like
be penalized for something.
you're asking the world to not have math work. You're like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
To,
I think what people don't like that we're all kind of in on the fact that we are trusting Richard not to dump on our heads, basically, and like nobody wants to say it out loud,
Right.
But like
Yeah.
you're doing that in every other coin too. You're trusting the whales, like the small company or the team of 5 people or less, probably only 1 or 2, that they're not just going to self-destruct themselves. Like, I mean, why would they? It's just,
Some companies do. I mean,
some people do without trying.
we have
one that
that
starts
level
with
of
an X.
trust. We have to have that level of trust with like everything that we got. Like if you have an Android, like a Samsung phone or an iPhone, like you have to trust that company's not going to go belly up and stop giving you updates and stop being usable. Like that exists everywhere.
Or that they didn't put a back door in your phone.
Oh yeah, or
They probably did.
And here's another thing. Here's another thing that doesn't get talked about. Okay, so an exit scam. So what if there was an exit scam? When people scam, 10, 15 million, 12 million, and you can kind of disappear off into the sunset. Yeah, you might get hunted down a little bit, but you didn't really piss off too many people at that price. And, the government's not going to really come after you at that price. So, that's about where you want. Anything above that, and you've wrecked yourself. You've got to go into hiding forever, 50, 100 million, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
And even that's chump change compared to what
Government's
this
gonna
could
start coming after you
possibly
after that.
build itself into if you were to actually
it's just
if everything was to work in its favor and continue to build on itself. There's so much more upside than to exit scamming at any point.
Yeah.
Well, how could you exit scam out of it? Because it's done. It's not
You
like
can't.
The project is complete. Like it's not like we have a roadmap that they're going to exit scam out of that.
Yeah,
I mean,
there
he could
is-
sell
there
it
is
ETH
no-
or whatever and just really plummet the price. But after that, it's gone. He's done,
just
and
wouldn't make-
we
it
just
wouldn't make
continue
sense.
with
That
what's
plummets the
going on.
price of ETH.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense even like to sell all the hex like the origin address has. That wouldn't make sense because it has way more than the liquidity of the that's on Uniswap, and there's probably a high likelihood that the origin address is providing a lot of that liquidity. So what are they going to sell to themselves? It doesn't make what like how does that even like
It's
it's just silly, like you just wreck yourself for no reason. And what for 10, 15 million when like your project is worth a whole lot more?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's the project's worth so much more with the OA operating in the best interest of the project, which is no expectations,
A lot of people,
and not financial advice. But
People don't like
just
that we say
thinking
that.
out loud. We don't know. Nobody knows. But I mean, it's kind of common sense to look at the whole thing and go, oh, well, if you really wrapped your head around it and looked at it.
That's the crazy thing that the logical conclusions that most people come to are just not like what aren't logical, because they wouldn't if you actually had a project, you created, it wouldn't make sense to destroy it. You know, like there's
Right.
so many like fallacies to their argument.
Yeah.
Like,
Like number one is like scammers usually won't show their face in public, let alone go out and try to destroy every crypto influencer that they come
Right.
across. Also, I don't think he really needs the money, guys. I mean, you can believe me or not, but from the impression I get, he's a pretty rich dude already. He could probably live out the rest of his life eating cheeseburgers and playing Halo.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, like,
well, and when you understand the mental games of, you know, the Tony Robbins style influence of people, like pulling scams is not difficult. Like that part, like taking dumb people's money gets very easy. You know, it's really like that's not and that's not fun or cool at all at that point in time. You know, you're doing worse for the world. So like, why use your powers of, you know, abilities for evil? Like that's just counterintuitive.
One thought that I had lately was like, I think why a lot of people are so offended is because part of Richard Hart's like ideology behind the marketing tactics was we have to make something that looks like a scam because people are so stupid that we need to funnel their
That's
money.
what they want to get into.
Yeah, they need to funnel their money.
People don't like to be told they're stupid.
Yeah, but then you got a layer of people that are just not stupid enough to get mad about that, and they're like, "Hey, he's calling me dumb." Like, you know,
I tricked you. You thought you were getting a scam, and I gave you a real coin.
Wait a second. Did he just call me dumb?
And so yeah, I think that he underestimated how angry people would get, you know, especially after all being ripped off themselves in 2017.
Yeah.
They feel like they're personally attacked by like, oh, not this again. Like I know better now. It's like, all right, but you haven't been following it for 3 years like me, and like
Well,
exactly. All you guys too.
And most people don't even know, like the game theory behind it. They don't know what's actually happening. Most of them don't when they talk about it, they don't even know about Uniswap, which is like a big game changer for all of crypto, but they don't even realize like Uniswap is like a pretty awesome platform that you can, you know, and they're coming out with version 2 here in a couple, you know, I don't know if that'll be even faster, but I know they got other things on it, you know, the flash loans and stuff like that, but man, it's such a
they don't even know what it is. They don't even know what Uniswap is yet. That's the funny thing, you know.
Uniswap, like there's any liquidity on it.
Okay, and the thing is, it's because they don't understand. They don't even know it. Their limited peripheral knowledge of it is so short that they like don't see the great the fact that the bid support stays there and is like something that is definitely we've never seen in an exchange. You know, and like that's like they're missing out on some of the best pieces of it because they just don't want it. La, 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 la,
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. You know, there's just a lot of that going. La, 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 scam.
Like they've learned a lot and they know better, you know. But like what they're really still doing is virtue signaling to like their, you know, like the people who have followers are saying this is the coin that's good. Oh, Wimble's cool. We like that one, but we don't like this one. You know, whatever. You know, like and most people just follow along in line and they're like, we're smarter now, and you're like, why? Yeah. Because you've been told that. I don't understand.
Well, that's why I like that Hex seems to attract a lot of just like rebel mindset type people, just people that don't give a fuck and don't like the existing system. So that's why you guys are all so cool, man. Like the whole group is amazing. Like where do you have 20,000 people that are like constantly talking? I had to delete Telegram off my fucking phone because like
I know my phone.
Yeah.
And there's so much. I mean, like
Hex is revolutionizing the revolution, guys.
That's right.
Pretty much. Back. I feel like Bitcoin. Well, I mean, after a while, I think that it just kind of any revolution starts to be exactly what it wanted not to be, and then it starts being like that, and then there has to be some other kind, you know, something to take its place, and then you know, maybe in 10 or 15 years, that's what Hex does too. Maybe we start being banks and something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm wondering where's the Hex copy, the copycat, right? Where's all the Hex copycats?
Don't worry, they're coming. They're
being developed right now. Coming. It's going to take them.
We can't figure out the code.
Well, like they can copy the base layer code, but any sort of you know, the claim tools and all the actual testing environments that they created, they can't do any of that. So it's going to take a long time for them to rebuild anything.
They know that too. So the Hex copycat right now that shall not be named is going to launch strategically on like a few days before big payday, and mark my words, their narrative is going to be, you know, the fair version of Hex, right? So they're going to try to siphon off. It's called a reloading scam. So it's trying to take a group of people that feel like they've been scammed and then say, oh, we'll get you out of this scam. Just get into this scam instead. And you know, this is your second
Nailed it.
It'll be pretty hard.
I was involved in I was like, I invested in the staking coin that I got wrecked on, of course, like called DV7. Like the 7 shouldn't have told you something. That like after everyone had like millions of these coins on a ledger somewhere that didn't exist ever, then they had to, because something happened with the blockchain, we got to move to DV8, and everyone's got to reinvest.
DV9 coming soon.
I remember that one. I was in that one too.
Everyone who hated DV8 and like said it was a scam. Then you could go over to this other DV bullshit coin and like they like literally just fractured the community and then took everybody's money. It's just again reload scam for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, but in this case, you know, to be honest, I don't think that the quote unquote scammers they don't actually believe they're scamming anybody. They in their minds believe that like Hex is the scam. So it's like all framing, right? It's like you can really think that you're right no matter what. And still be wrong. Like that just happens all the time. But really, time will tell, and I think like price will tell and adoption will tell. But
I mean, the same Tezos. Everybody, you know, like when it first started, everybody thought that was a scam. They were getting sued and all that stuff, and now it works. And you know, like
I mean, people still believe that XRP is a scam. You know, and it's I mean, it still works. It does its thing. You know,
So that's the other thing, that the legal issues usually start popping up, or you will have seen them or the talks of them. I mean, I've heard a couple of jackasses out there, you know, mention, you know, calling the SEC and ridiculous crap like that. But I haven't seen, you know, anything out there that really is, you know, like somebody coming up with some legal argument for, you know, what Hex is, you know.
Yeah,
well,
go ahead.
I've also never seen anyone be as strategically effective and concise with their language as what Richard is, or how we in general are through this project. Like no one is this like expletive of exactly what a security is and why we're not that in very, very specific ways. You know, like I've never seen that in like any project that's out there to be like that. You know, like
people are going to come after him though. People are going to really try to press charges. So I mean, get ready for
us
that.
too. Probably it's going to probably hit us too.
Maybe.
But,
if we're being public. But basically, like that'll be the next wave of FUD or 2 or 3. Like you might see like a little bit of a price drop because people get scared on some news. But in my head, like I don't know, I'm not a law expert, but I can't figure out a way to stop Hex legally. Like you can't just stop it. It's like you have to stop Ethereum. Like
shut the internet down.
Yeah.
Well, and like even if they were
like
arrest or gag Richard and remove the site or anything, it still works. And while that would be a hit, you know, to like the marketing of it or the, you know, the name recognition of it, it still wouldn't stop it by that token. And to be fair to like the regulatory bodies, like they really want to make money at the end of it all too, and make sure everyone's playing fair. So like they didn't do EOS in, you know, they took a couple, 20, 30 million, 20 some odd, 24 million or something like that from them out of what was a huge launch, you know,
monster. I mean, they just got fined a little bit basically is what it was. And
like,
it was,
it would take a lot for them to like try and make some cease and desist orders for like every website about, you know, like it would be very difficult. And even at that,
what was it at EOS? I mean, it was just. I mean, they didn't shut them down. They didn't come at them hard. They got fined for some type of language somewhere or something that went down.
It was because they deemed that the crowd sale was a security, and they didn't do enough to keep like U.S. investors from, you know, participating. I mean, like anybody that wanted to with a VPN could have, you know, done it, and it wasn't even that difficult to do it. So they were fining him for that, but that, I mean, again, it still didn't, like, they weren't like give it all back, you know.
Well, you can't really.
Wasn't it because they had like a roadmap? Like they weren't complete. Obviously, that's what I think that Hex has going for it. Like they're complete. Like there's nothing else on it.
Tokens out in the crowd sale, and they didn't even launch the mainnet until a year after.
They switched it. And
That's
then
just why I
they did
think Hex is
something kind of
completely legit.
funky in
Like,
there too.
nothing can really stop it. Like even if they wanted to, they can't deem it as security because it's complete. There's no like promises.
Yeah.
There's nothing given. There, he did all of the 4 legs of the Howey test, which is like,
Right.
He seemed like he explained it many times to many people.
Yeah, and we do everything in
People go
Hex.
crazy because of the one piece of it that is very specific, where like there's people putting money in a common pool somewhere. I mean, that is true, and like that, but none of the rest of that statement applies. Like,
But it's for now. It's for no expectations. I mean, you're basically putting something in so that you can get a handful of baseball cards.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's where people just turn off their brains. They just, I heard the thing.
Well, I think that even if somebody did really want to take Hex down, right, because they didn't like Richard or whatever, if they wanted to take Hex down and make it non-existent, they would have to realize that they're hurting like 20,000 or more people that all own Hex. That like some people have put their life savings into this thing. So it's like, yeah, I understand you want to get the scammer, but do you really want to get all the little guys too that quote unquote fell for the scam? Like,
They don't give a shit.
Asshole. I mean, yeah, but like,
that they're like, again, by my estimations, they're probably not like just bawling out themselves. So there's a level of there's going to be a level of jealousy at anybody that does better than their bags, So like in some part of their mind, they're like, yeah, fuck those guys,
it's true,
and I mean, I'm not saying that that's like a good way to be. It sucks, but there's people are probably, that's how they feel,
Yeah. It's like, wait, can you really just make a token out of nowhere for the only purpose of to go up in price? It's like, yeah, turns out somebody just did that.
Well, that's the crazy thing about it is like these are the same people that are like using the Pepe Frog meme to to be super trolls about things, which like you're like, bro, like it's kind of the there's a level of it that's the embodiment of that, I don't understand. I don't.
Yeah.
Why are we fighting here?
Some people, they come over. Like I've seen haters on my channel, like this guy, Altcoin Buzz Daily or something, and he called me the next Carlos Matos, which was I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah. And then 2 months later, 3 months later, Hex goes up 5,000. And he comes to the Telegram and he's like, dude, hey, I'm sorry for talking shit. And I like tipped him 500 Hex or whatever.
I saw that.
Glad to have you here, man. Like, I'm not
That's heavy, dude. That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
cool.
that's worth more than like all the shit talk.
Yeah, I respect the fuck out of that. That's great.
Yeah. Yep.
If you can, I mean, there's another cat too that was on Twitter that like has a pretty big following that like said some stuff, and I think I responded to him, and like then we started chatting about it, and he was like, "Wow, you actually did like I see that you've been shilling this for a while. You did really well. Like there's like and then he like you can see in his attitude from our comments after that like his mind is changed. Like he's like, maybe there are real people that are getting into this, and it is a legit,
Yeah, it's a lot of
That's
people.
what we're-
Every
That's what we're
influencer
doing
that we went over, the better, I mean, like even the ones that are like that scream up and down garbage scam, like when they finally buy some Hex, when they finally do it, I'm gonna welcome them with open arms.
Yeah.
Like,
I try to give out, just try to like send them like 200 Hex and be like, here, go stake it, see that it works, and you can, like that's the easiest way to onboard somebody is to give them some free stuff. I know even like the Bitcoin free claimers, obviously that was a game theory plan for Richard, but if and dropping, we don't know who's dropping all the 100 into thousands of Ethereum addresses. But that's the best way to onboard people is to just give them something for free and be like, here, try it out for yourself, man. Like it works. You can actually make more off of what you're getting. There's no strings attached to it.
And that's that have tried that recently, and then just like I only know of Kick Token because like a bunch of their tokens showed up in my wallet.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason I was like, what is this? Like they did effective marketing. Yeah, that's reasonably worthwhile and good job at doing that.
And plus if you get a bunch of those and it goes up 100x, then you're probably like, hey, damn, I just got like $10 for nothing, man. That wasn't a bad idea at all.
You guys remember that one dude that was just giving everyone like 1,000 Hex? Because that one day hex.xyz or whatever was clogged up with a bunch of transactions. It was some guy just spamming everybody, giving them 1,000 Hex.
Yeah.
So if that's worth
I missed
my
that
buddy
day.
my buddy called me and was like, why do I have an extra 1,000 Hex? And I was like, I don't know. And then I looked through the group, and everyone was talking about it. I was like, I know exactly why. Somebody gave it to you.
Yeah.
We don't know who, but somebody did.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
It's hard because I want to do more of that. I want to give it to other people, but man, it's really hard to see people that aren't just, creating another wallet and another Twitter handle and just be like, yeah, pay me. Go ahead and just pay this address too, and pay this address and pay this address. Like, damn, pay guy like 50 times, man.
Oh yeah, this thing, having a vet that and then you're looking at Twitter profiles. You're like, all right, he's only got like 6 followers, and just start with
get bunga, man. You don't want to get bunga for sure.
Bunga.
Dude,
what a blow!
Oh, geez.
It's funny how things from your show take off and just go for like 2 or 3 days. It was the bunga, and then the G off.
The goofs are in there now.
Goofs and the G off or whatever. And then it's
funny because some of the haters, like there was a guy named Hale or something like that. He was a hater there for like 10 minutes. Everybody starts piling in on him, and I'm like, dude, just hit me up after and I'll send you some hex and you can try it out for yourself. He messaged me. I sent him some hex. I haven't heard anything from him, but still, it's like, try it out, man. If you want to, you can even sell it. I don't even care. Like, see how easy it is on hex.win and show them that, and even that's kind of a cool way to introduce people into like Uniswap, see how easy it is to just transact through there.
Yeah, you ought to do a free hex show one day. Everybody who gets in, you just send them 100 free hex idea. Or whatever. Let them go in there and play with it, because
that's true.
Again, and that's what's cool is Richard says it all the time too. He's like, man, get some hex and try it out, and it's like, yeah, try it out. You don't have to stake it. You don't. You can spend it. You can move it. Do whatever you want with it.
That statement is totally like worthy to say, because like I have a lot of experience of people that are not crypto people, or are, they might be smart. They know how to use a computer or whatever, but like this didn't interest them at all, but they got a little bit from whatever way that they, me telling them or whatever. And now that they're very into it, ask me a lot of questions, and like they're on their own. They're doing they haven't bothered me. They're staking their coins. They're fucking with their mass. They're, like that's awesome. That's like a bunch that like I can attest for at least like 10 people that I know.
Dude,
that are
coffees. Show like really opened up my eyes when you did it with your friend. I was like, man, it is difficult to get like MetaMask installed and like sending it from Coinbase to MetaMask, and then it's like very like we take it for all granted. I think like where we're just like, yeah, you just send it through MetaMask. What did you didn't send your hex there? What did you like?
What do you think? Every person that I've turned on to it, it's been a 20-minute, half hour, sometimes longer, like either Zoom call or me like actually physically showing them this is it's tactile as ever, but it's still leaps and bounds better than how it was before,
and your buddy was like an AI dev too, wasn't he?
He was an AR guy,
like he's smart, like he's smart with computers. So that was why it was so eye-opening, because it was like, oh man, this isn't easy for everybody to get onto this stuff, and it's much, but I think that because the referral system is what got my buddy, because I was like, dude, I'll just send you my referral, and then you can already have hex, and you don't even have to have anything in there. I don't have to send you to like buy anything on Coinbase, which he did. He ended up buying some, but the referral system, all he had to do is set up a MetaMask and then give me his referral, and then that's how I used it. I thought that was really like a good, easy way to onboard people.
It'd be nice if like a developer out there would just make like a mobile wallet that let's say it costs like $1 to download, and you use that dollar to fund the wallet with like some dust of ETH, so you have enough for transaction costs, and then
it's a good idea.
It's like a hex specific mobile wallet, so you can do all your staking, all your referring, everything through there, because I think that's how people really like looking at. Like the first thing Marty did was he downloaded Coinbase Wallet on his phone, which is like a separate app that like lets you hold your own private keys and stuff. So something like that, but just very hex specific with all the features inside. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So guys, Dab's listening, go build that right now, because I'm not good.
And that's what it's going to take. It's all of us talking about that stuff. I mean, because it's got to be built, and the community is going to have to do it. And that's what it takes. It can't be just Richard out there, hey, do this, do that, do that. It's got to be all of us early adopters, the OGs, all the guys that are, believed in the project and learned about the project from the beginning. It's us getting the word out there and saying, hey, build this shit, guys,
Yeah.
you want to make our project get better? Build this shit.
Someone's working on a mobile app. It's like hex.business or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think we've got him on Sunday. He's coming on
good.
Sunday.
Good. I'm curious
Cool.
about
Nice.
Yeah. I'm even curious about it
I'll be
because I don't like. I know a little bit about it, but I
We're
don't.
talking
know
about Michael,
everything.
right?
Yeah, that's I think been like one of the harder things is like I have a couple like for instance the kid that I was telling you about from St. Lucia that they sent coins to, like he didn't have a computer, he is just an old ass iPhone, so like getting him to have test flight and MetaMask and all that and everything was like and then now go.hex.win doesn't really work, so now thank God there's another hex.win to be able to send him to so like all that's been super useful along the way, but like hard, like it's not, it wasn't, so like an app that would be able to do all that would be definitely
amazing.
Very kick-ass.
And I think that would be amazing for all of crypto because you don't have that like in anything. It seems like that's what it's so weird about with crypto. It's like mobile apps you can't really do a whole lot with them. I mean, you can send and receive. I guess that's all crypto really does. Never mind.
I think Hex.live is going to have everything you ever need. He's gonna kill it.
Yeah, Hex.live is killing it too.
Steph, right? That's Steph.
Yeah, that was a good talk with you guys as well.
Right, yeah. Gave away $1 million. That's like $3,000 something dollars, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe 4,000.
Yeah, I thought it was like 4,500 or something when he sent it.
Crazy for a giveaway.
Yeah, I convinced a buddy of mine back in like late December. I owed him. He had helped me do some database work, and just kind of on pro bono. I was like, hey, can you do this? I'm not great at it. He just did like 4 hours of a little bit of work for me. And a couple $100 that I was supposed to give him for the hourly, I like convinced him. I was like, man, just take it in Hex. Just take it in Hex. And he's like, this is so dumb, but fine, whatever.
He's happy now.
Oh yeah. He called me the other day, and he was like, I think I should put more in. And I was like, what are you doing? I'm not a financial advisor.
That's what sucks about it. It's like once your friends get addicted to it, you're like, well, I don't know if you should put any more in.
Should I put more? I'm like, dog, I just saw it 100x. I don't know anything right now.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, we've been on the stream for like 2.5 hours.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's been a blast. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, Black Sheep, and smoking that tobacco on the stream with us. Same with you.
I
know that's what it was.
Kurkowski, nice to meet you. Nice
it was good to meet you too, Black Sheep.
Been a pleasure.
Yeah, see you, man. Yeah, you too.
Appreciate all you guys, man. All right, everybody out there. Thanks for getting in the chat. Thanks for.
So do y'all mind if I show my shit real quick?
Yeah. Do it again, bro. Do it again.
Yeah. Bingo Earth. If anyone that's caught on, we have like 5 extra viewers. So if y'all are busy Sunday at 8:00 Eastern, we do a charity game show for it's just bingo for money, which actually you can get payouts in Hex now, and we do a 10,000 Hex coin giveaway at the end of each episode. So come on down. Bingo.earth is the site.
Yeah. Come.
Bingo.earth. Yep. And then Crypto Coffee, don't forget his show. It's most intelligent Hex crypto show on the freaking YouTubers.
Check that one out.
And then Crypto Black Sheep, watch out for him on the Hex chat channel. He's gonna offend you some way, somehow. Go see his YouTube.
When my channel's not banned, it's
you just gotta go. You gotta go there just to see the intro to his freaking show, man. It's hilarious. It is absolutely freaking hilarious. And then of course Hexo, he's gonna be on here in a few more minutes on his show.
2 hours.
So the hardest working guy in Hex. That's for damn sure.
Giving us a daily dose.
All right, guys. Oh, and the last thing, everybody out there, if you do donate to our links down below or the ETH address, all of the money and proceeds and everything that we gather are going to be to go back to the community for some kind of a big payday party in Miami. We're going to do something, whether it's bottle service or whatever for everybody or some type of party. Depending upon how big Hex gets, if it goes down to nothing, maybe I'll be sending everybody nothing. But we'll have something going on for the community somehow, some way. All right. Well, thanks guys for getting on. We'll catch everybody next Sunday. We've got the mobile app guys are getting on next Sunday.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
There we go.
Guys.